Meow, 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 meow. Music is off, unfortunately. And we are going in. That is very interesting. Everybody appears muted because they're on the stage. I guess I will unmute them once they get like pulled in or whatever. And there is an empty slot, which I will just fill right this. Okay, sorry. I'm fixing some of my production stuff. Some people were very late and I was not able to adjust them on screen. But with that being said, welcome everyone to our season 4 roundtable. This is technically a seasonal event, even though it has not happened in the past 6 seasons. But I am today your host, Basant, and I am once again hosting this. It is a little bit different of a table this time compared to the previous ones, since usually the whole event started with us pretty much asking each person, each main one trick, to play, represent their character and come in here. Here you might see that we have like 2 Sylvias, 2 Rios. This time I decided to make it off of rank alone. So we do have some duplicates, but that is completely fine. In my books, we have some really good players here, some of the best of the best, and a lot of them are also on ERCS or competitive tournament. The cutoffs just happened, and we can finally see the teams. So I'm happy for all of the people that made it. So congratulations to them. Chat, do congratulate them. They tried very hard climbing to that spot. It was very impressive. But with that being said, I don't know why Wilkes is saying anything in the chat when he declined my invitation, but I might have to ban that guy. Regardless, we can start with our first topic. I would like to start us very slow with, I wanted to ask some of you what your favorite change for this season was, or maybe just your most recent change. I know there's been plenty of changes, but if any of you has any changes that you particularly enjoyed, you could go ahead and raise your hand, and so we can hear you talk about it. Anyone. If not, I'm going to start pulling people, and you guys don't want me to do that. So, raise your hand now. Say anything. It could be the matchmaking changes, it could be weather, it could be blast plants. We got plenty of changes this season that are absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I think that the skin might be the best thing that ever happened in this game.
Dylan. Hi, Dylan. You really like that
Yeah,
demo skin, right?
I really love it.
Are you dropping every other character and just playing demo from now on?
I mean, I'm a man of multi-talent, but right now I enjoy her a lot.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Any other changes you like recently?
But to be fair, I think the items changed are pretty cool. It's more diverse, more things to do. Just like the Commander headset, I really love this item.
Item varieties, always good. Thank you, Dylan, for sharing. Appreciate you taking the bullet for everyone else. Now, anybody else has any changes that they would like to talk about? If not, I'm going to start pulling from our list of topics that we have. Some of them, the ones you put on the survey, and some others that they're just general topics. Nobody feeling anything strong? Okay, first topic. This one I'm sure you guys will really, really like. Some people, actually more people than I thought on their surveys, you guys put that Charlotte design or just Charlotte overall was like a problem in some sort. Can anybody go deeper on that topic? Any Charlotte haters in here? Anyone with any Charlotte takes?
Hello.
Hello.
I think Charlotte's interesting because she does something that we haven't had in the game before, where she simultaneously acts as an anti-dive character and an anti-poke character at the same time. In general, when you have some kind of healer or a character that's able to like shrug off major poke damage, they're supposed to be vulnerable to some kind of all-in. But in Charlotte's case, as long as she doesn't misstep or miss space, she can also prevent the all-ins while also shrugging off so much poke with the power of her W being like super low cooldown and heals herself and her teammate. Like it's a very interesting kit that we haven't had in the game before. Like you could say Johan has anti-dive and some like anti-poke as well, but Johan has to invest a lot in order to heal without ulting. But the real only play you have against Charlotte is to either kite out after they ult and hope that you can then re-engage, or kill her or one of the targets within the 1.5 or 2 seconds or whatever it is now for the ulti to kind of apply. And so I think like the frustration that comes from the character just comes from her not fitting in the previous ways that we were used to kind of approaching a character when we look at what they're supposed to do. She kind of stops both things, and just that can be really frustrating. So she can gate entire comps or entire like lineups just by being able to negate both of those ways of playing. So I think that might be where the frustration kind of comes from. I don't necessarily know if I think she's OP to like a degree that it's like worth hating on it so much, but I get where the frustration comes from because she kind of gates entire things and doesn't follow the rules.
Okay. Does anybody want to add? We got a very in-depth response about Charlotte. Does anybody agree, disagree? Maybe they just hate Charlotte because, I don't know, she's ugly or something. Maybe that's... I didn't say that, actually. Somebody else said that. Anyways. But any other Charlotte lovers, haters? I know Pyro has stuff to say about Charlotte.
Hello?
Oh, what's up, Pyro?
Hi, Poisson. I do not like Charlotte as a character. I think this character is kind of lame. She is way too easy, and I think the people who play her have such a simple job, and anyone can play it, and everyone here has the same... Like, anytime you see a Charlotte mess up or play bad, everyone asks the same question as, how can you be that bad at a character that easy? And also, nobody likes playing against it.
I see.
I think Charlotte's a little bit of a toxic character for the game, especially in like a lot of people have expressed discontent playing against it. So I think I have a different perspective. Like as the person who really wants my teammates to play Charlotte, I think, if we do exclamation mark Camillo in chat, you guys can see, for example, the stats where Camillo has like a +16 delta on RP gain. If you play Charlotte versus just like any average comp. So there's a massive like increase in viability of Camillo just having a Charlotte on your team, and I think that's kind of a little bit screwy with the balance.
Shit.
Guys, I feel like Charlotte's also, like, another thing is Charlotte's becomes so much stronger when the skill disparity is too high, because and in NA it definitely happens a lot, and the reason why is because people just aren't doing enough damage. People aren't pulling their weight. So when you have a Charlotte that's just constantly healing their team, like the team is just unkillable.
Okay. I kind of want to hear from GRAM, because I remember GRAM's take was that easy characters are good for this game, and some people here are complaining that Charlotte is too easy.
Yeah, I actually I agree with what Superior just said completely. That she really punishes indecisiveness, and like if your team isn't on the same page, like if it's a 3 versus 3 and so maybe on the other end team is supposed to deal damage but isn't, then it almost feels unbeatable. But I do think that it's good for easy characters to exist, and I don't think we have any Charlottes on either Asia or NA that have climbed even to the top like 200, maybe like 1. So I think that yes, she is really easy to play, and so if you put your worst player on it, like in ranked, then they're gonna have a higher impact than maybe they should. But I don't think that's necessarily a terrible thing. Like you're not gonna. She's definitely not too strong of a character in my opinion.
Oh,
Frankie!
hello.
I hate
Hi.
you.
Why?
Anyways,
Well.
you didn't finish it, but anyways.
Yes, I
speak.
forgot. Anyways, Charlotte. I think, like everyone else said, she's probably bad for the top, like competitive side, but that's legit like top 5%. I think for the average player, especially since so much of our game, casual players come from League, we need characters that are super easy enchanters because that's a big type of player in League. I think it's the same reason why we have certain other characters in the game. But obviously, she's overly simple. I don't think anyone would argue that she's not great for the high level. But I think for the vast majority of the player base who are like casual players coming from League, it's nice to have a character like her.
Careful with your words. You're surrounded by 3 ADCs on the display. Poker, you're saying anything? Charlotte?
Yeah. Yeah, I think she's fine. For the LP disparity thing with Camillo, I mean, like, if you play Taric with Master Yi, if you guys have played League, like, yeah, of course, Taric and Master Yi are gonna both have a way higher win rate when you play them together because the two characters just inherently go well. They're kids that are judged with each other. I think it's fine that she's easy. My League friends that are new to the game, I can teach them more about the fundamentals rather than, you know, having to focus on decoding the fucking color spectacle that Tia is or something. All they have to do is press W and I can learn them, or I can teach them how to, you know, take consoles, track transition items, stuff like that. But yeah, I think she's fine at high level too. It's not like we don't have like good pilots on her, like people who are actually good at the game in NA playing her, like Fruitcake plays her, but I mean, that guy doesn't climb very much right now, so he's not OP or anything. I don't know. I think she's like totally fine. I think she's fun too. I haven't seen amazing comps built around her in comp yet, but I hope we'll see some this ERCS.
Okay. We get a bit of an opposite end of the spectrum, but yeah, we did say. So some people say her design is bad. Some others say it's fine, especially for the lower elo players, and in general, it's good to have easy players or easy characters to play. So, and yeah, she is also relatively new, so we will still have to see what happens in competitive and other aspects, as well as future character releases that come out that might also synergize with her, since she is a support and she does enable people to do different things. So good shallow discussion. I'm proud of you guys. We're all speaking more. Good job.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, you can speak.
I was thinking the exact same thing when Hoko mentions the Yeeteric, but not in the way he said it. So he said that like certain, I guess like the general was characters that synergize well together doesn't necessarily mean that they're bad for the game or something. And so Yeeteric, when they go together, they're going to just be at an advantage. You can think of other examples like Misfortune and Malphite, or like any knock-up character with Yasuo. Like the idea is that characters can have their strengths and their like better portions kind of like augmented by other characters. But with Yeeteric specifically, that has been a menace for Riot to deal with since they like kind of the boosters, especially for like trying to get accounts quickly to master or GM just to sell them. Like the go-to is like Taric Lulu and then Master Yi as the alternate, right? And there have been so many patches and balance updates to try to make the interactions between those characters less strong because it's so painful to deal with sometimes and like frustrating. It never became so OP, I think, that it got to like competitive side, but for the solo queue grind, it has a pretty rough history. So if like I thought the same thing too, like Camillo and Charlotte kind of fall into that same role where you can put the Giga melee hyper carry in like full attack mode and just give it an absurd amount of survivability with the Charlotte. But I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing that that's the case. So I'm interested to see kind of what happens in ERCS, because it'll kind of show us maybe a little bit more about like what you could do at the high end. And then we can kind of decide on whether or not it's good or bad for the game as a whole. But for now, I think it's a lot more contentious than just being two characters that synergize really well together will perform better.
Okay. All right. We spent some time in Charlotte. Once again, we're speaking more. I think I like the discussion. I think we got good points on both sides. So I will move on to the next one for now, which is going to be, let me bring one more from our survey. What's a quick one we can do? Let's do, what do we think about the most recent matchmaking changes for the high elo? For those that don't know, for context, they made it so in NA, the Mythro players, I believe, Myth Plus, can no longer get platinum players on their lobbies. I think that's a change. Someone might correct me. Don't read patch notes, so. But yeah, what do we think about that change? I do know a lot of people have been climbing a lot higher, both because they wanted to make the ERCS cutoff, but also because maybe the teammate quality that they had, having less low elo players on their team, might have affected their gains. So what's everyone's experience with it so far?
I think I think the new changes are good. I'm not trying to see superior water fudge on every single game and them rolling down the Diamond 1 lobbies and having 15 transitions over me. So it's nice to see how the MMR is a lot more balanced. A lot of the teams are a lot more fair, so it makes the games more interesting, and also makes like the people at the very top have to work for their elo.
Bro, I'm sad. I can't hit my immortal friends anymore, man. Like this was the only season where I was hidden like other people in immortal, and yeah, they took it out. So that is what it is.
I'm not really too sure about the MMR changes and the matchmaking changes, but I think it's a good thing that you don't see. There was that one period of time where people would just get the same people over and over again. I'm not trying to call like anyone out, but like I got GRAM a lot of times, and like Hoko Superior was a thing a lot of times. I just think it's more interesting that you get different people more than just having the same people every time.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think like the changes were good. Like teams definitely feel more balanced now. I think like the Mithril lobbies definitely feel really good. Like if you base Mithril, your teammates are always like pretty solid and like you always have a chance to win. So
There's a really sleeper thing too that nobody's mentioned yet. It's kind of like anywhere. The exempt duos button, or like the dodge duos like little checkmark box that we cross, we don't have to cross it anymore after Myth Plus, because you can only get Diamond Plus and Diamonds can't duo. And so you don't have to have that little thing checked off anymore. And they said when they were like looking into what to do, that was causing a huge portion of the matchmaking issues, was the plats plus the little check mark of don't give me a duo, just kind of conflicting. So now that we don't have to do that, we can literally ignore the button. It doesn't exist for us. And I think that's a huge change too.
I guess it's my turn. Yeah, I think the only thing I'd add that is like extra nice about this, even though I think like if you were on the Discord server, like option 2 might be slightly preferable, as if we can't get any Q pops or something like that at some point in the future. But I think, like, I guess going back to even like Charlotte release, Alonso release, Katya release, those sorts of things, like there are a lot of times where you are facing a particular comp or something like that, or you're in a position and you have like a plat player or 2 plat players or something like that, and you just know like none of these fights are going to be winnable because there's like a super simple like stat check that you have to pass, right? To kill a Charlotte team, you need a base level of coordination or a base level of damage or something like that. And that led to a lot of games where you could play as well as you wanted and there was not a lot of interaction to have, like regardless of whether you're winning or losing RP, it was just kind of a boring game. And at least for me, on the eye test, having just the diamond lobbies makes all the fights on both sides play a lot more interestingly, regardless of like the character picks and such.
I guess it's mine. I think the overall match quality has been much better after the rank queue changes. Before, there would be occasional problem where when a lot of immortals are queuing up, if you're not the immortal that if you're the immortal that rolls a double dual plat or a low diamond plat, and then every other immortal has like another like top 25 or top 10 player, you're most of the time that player ends up dodging. I've played a few of those games out and I have won one of them, but most of the time they're pretty rough to play. So I really do enjoy the rank queue changes post, because it makes it to where at least your team is always viable. Like Superior said earlier, yeah, you always have at least some chance to win the lobby, even if there's like a slightly imbalanced team, as long as some misfortune happens to that team. But overall, the rank experience has been much better.
oh yeah, that's another discussion entirely. Is that in the list, Basant? Dodging?
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that one next. We want to start with it. I think we're talking about
Where's
matchmaking.
Frankie?
It looks like
Where's
so
Frankie
far
Noodle?
we have overall everybody enjoys the matchmaking. I have heard that plat queues and stuff like slow down after the matchmaking changes. which it is somewhat unfortunate. Towards the end of the season, those elos always slow down more because people stop at gold after they get the rank rewards for the skin. So I'm curious to see how the end of this season is gonna look for those plat players if they can no longer get into the high elo lobby games and people in gold are sitting. If they're gonna really struggle or not, I'm kind of scared for that. But outside of that, I agree with everybody else here that the matchmaking changes have been overall really positive for the high elo players, and I'm happy for that. But with that being said, as you guys can see or have seen, probably my hot take is about dodging. I do feel a little strong about that, even though I have dodged, especially recently with the ERCS cutoff approaching. I have dodged. I'm guilty. But let's talk a little bit about it. What do we think about dodging? Any changes that you guys would like to see happening about dodging system? Some people said in the past, I've heard things like you shouldn't be able to see the names of the other teams like in other games. You should only be able to see your teammates. Since some people do dodge based on the enemy teams. What do we think about dodging? I want to hear y'all's opinion on it.
I already gave my suggestions and I messaged like one of the CMs or like Wendy about it as well. But basically my suggestions for dodging and to fix the dodging issue is at the very least you need to hide enemy teammates. Or sorry, people on the enemy team, so you can't see like what other people rolled. Because I think what goes into dodging a lot of the times is people see, these other players got, better players than me, so I'm just gonna dodge because this game's unwinnable. Another thing is I think they should raise the RP dodge cost. They should at least double it. So first dodge should be 10, second dodge should be 20, and then third is maybe like 30 or 40.
Basically a add-on to what Super said, I think they need to actually also punish people for dodging more than 3 times. The current cap is, I believe, 3 dodges at 20 minutes for 20 RP. Should be around there. But I know some players would go beyond that and keep on dodging, even if it means quote unquote skipping the next match in queue, just because like they rolled 2 players that they don't think they can win the game with. I do think that if they added, like, it should just keep on cascading down and keep on punishing you the more you dodge, even past that 3rd dodge.
It'd be
Okay.
nice if dodging lets you make it so that you don't get the same exact teammates for the next match. Just
Well,
to,
you could just wait the queue out. Like if you don't want the same teammates, you should just wait until it pops.
Yeah. I have considered, like, I remember, like, in League or whatever, right? If you report someone, they won't match into them or something. It was something at some point, but unfortunately, we can't do that in this game. Otherwise, our queues could suffer badly. I would report a lot of people, but Frankie, yes, you mute it.
Hello?
Speak.
Alright, I'm a bit tired still, so let me warm up a bit. First, a couple of things. One, I think everyone agrees ERCS cutoff is easy, right? Like, it's pretty easy to make ERCS. I don't think that's a take.
It was the cutoff was actually pretty high. It was like 7.5k or something.
Well, you don't need a dodge to make ERCS, right?
You don't.
Yeah.
Probably not. No. But
yeah. Okay. Second thing, do most people agree with Nessius' hot take that being a top player really isn't hard? I'd say most people agree with this, right? I think if we combine these things, obviously there's exceptions. I think it's fine to dodge. Like I think EU had a thing with the cement eater guy. If like a guy's like straight up like racist or he's really toxic, sure. Or if a guy's like entering on a crit Charlotte or something, sure, he dodge those guys. But I think with the current one, especially if we look at our last tournament winners, I think if you're dodging too much, most people will cope and say, I'm doing it because I need it to have fun. But I think you're playing a game that will always have bad players no matter what. We're playing the anime battle royale. Secondly, I think, hold up, I'm lost. I'm too tired for this. Anyways, second thing, I think it is just like when bad players are inevitable. I think there's no reason to dodge. I think climbing is easy. I think ranked barely matters. I think if you look at our last 2 tournament winners, last tournament we had Deus win. I don't even know what rank Deus is. That guy is a fucking horrible ranked role. And then the tournament before that, who do we have win? It was Wisu won. And if you look at Wisu's deck right now, it's a jump scare. So I don't think, like, if you put all these together, I don't see why we have to dodge so much. I think it is crazy that's become so big of a problem that Legit, we've had to have CM step in and talk about it when it's such an easy thing to regulate as a community, especially so small. But that's okay.
Two things. One, Deus isn't here, so you're not allowed. But that's chill.
Deus would get it.
Yeah, I it's because it's Deus, I'll allow it. Also, Deus also almost made the cutoff, so to like Roundtable, he was ranked 30 when it happened. So watch your mouth. He's a top player, okay?
Yeah, he found his best character. It's actually crazy. He played. No, never mind. He's not here. He's not here.
Okay, let's call that. All right, continue onwards. Or are you good?
No, I'm good.
You cooked? Okay. Okay, so dodging, very, very bad thing. Anyone else?
I can go. I know there's other people that unmuted.
Go for it.
I just wanted to say, like with what Ellie was saying earlier, I want them to do things that are more like removing your ability to see who's on enemy teams rather than increasing dodge penalties, because there are several players that have legit like 5 mithril accounts and they just cycle between them. Yeah. So whether they care too much about losing like 30 RP as opposed to 10 for a dodge, I'd rather make ways so it's harder for them to make the same dodges that they have been doing, right? Where they're just seeing double immortal and leaving and going and playing on another account. Because I think it'll help certain players. If you increase the penalty of dodging, it'll help certain players dodge less. But I think it'd be more universal if you just stop people from being able to see enemy teams.
What do we think about my take? I think if you dodge, you're locked out for your account. No more rank for the day.
That's a bit crazy even for me. I'm gonna be real passant.
I don't know, because I think in other games it's definitely like that, right? Like in like Valorant
Yeah,
and in
it's kind of like
CS.
that in League as well. After your third dodge in League, you're like locked out rank for several hours.
So,
Yeah.
I like honor systems. I think if you're a good boy, you maybe should be allowed to dodge if I see Pult in my team, and if I've been behaving and haven't dodged my teammates in a very long time and have been reported, maybe I deserve it. But I don't know. Maybe an honor system would be cool, and if you are a constant dodger, then you get punished harder. Could potentially be a solution as well, but
I think that change would work if our ban system actually worked, but because it doesn't, and griefing players
what
go
do you
on
mean?
for a
We
while.
have a player right here.
I think they
Someone
can
here got
scale
banned. I haven't
the-
kept up. Do we have drama? Who got banned?
Oh,
So what you're saying
okay.
is Cement Eater can make everyone not play for the day?
Who got banned? Let me know.
Don't worry about it.
I mean,
Well,
honestly, I
missing
think
a
it's
bit of
okay
a
to
teaming
just give
thing.
everyone like one free dodge, but then after
We'll fill you in
after your
later.
first dodge, you should probably get punished harder for it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because at least then like Cement Eater comes in and he just like wipes the table clean and gets rid of
He
like
wipes the entire
50%
NAQ.
of the
I guess that's
NAQ
fair.
in
Since
like
we don't
1
have,
hour.
Since we don't have like a good ban system and like they don't really look at reports as much, then yeah, I guess like scaling the dodge timer wouldn't be that good.
There was a suggestion on main cord where someone suggested, like, I think Dota has this. It was like but they got Giga Flame for it, but it was like the voidless. Well, no, no. It was like if you're like given limited slots. I'm trying to remember what they said.
Is
you're
it
given
the
limited
ignore
slots.
system where you could ignore like a player and
It's
then
like
you
something
can't queue
similar.
into them,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that I don't think would really work for us because since our player base is so small, if we all ignore like one player, like they'll just never be able to play or something. And I don't know if we should do that. I don't know.
I saw that, and then that's why I made it. I thought, I was like, what? Our region is too small to do that, and it would just kill queues, and then it will make it to where like even at higher elo, probably queues would be at 30 minutes, maybe longer, depending on how they calculate like everyone's ignore list.
Yeah, once you start like adding like restrictions to queues, like it starts becoming like really bad for queue time. So
Yo, can I add fuel to the fire really quick? Who
Cool.
here thinks it's okay versus not okay to dodge people on your team just because they're bad? Someone go.
I'll dodge
Was I already expected to go? Is this my time again?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah.
Yo,
Yo, I don't even
God,
think that's how. I think
oh.
Cook was.
Yo,
That's not
if you're in a coliseum fighting to your death and it's a 3v3 and the two people next to you have no arms and no legs, you're not gonna enter that arena in good conscience.
Yes,
You're
but
just
normally the
gonna go
enemy
in
team.
and
So you're acting
die.
like the enemy 3 team has like they're also missing arms and legs most of the time. So it's like.
Oh, but they can at least like walk. They can fucking waddle or something. Like they can
So I
hold
think
a sword. They
players
can
are
hold a
inevitable.
dagger. My
Do you think in the
teammates,
next 3 years? Okay, go, sorry.
my limbless teammates are drooling over themselves. They're fucking half dying. I'm surprised they even make it to the gate of the Coliseum, man. Like, please, you're telling me I have to lock myself in a hyperbolic time chamber for 20 minutes just to get minus 50? Like, I'm playing for third place 0TK. Like, please, man.
But this is like an inevitability.
this.
We can go 3 years into the future, and limbless players will forever exist. It doesn't matter. We're playing a turn return, the anime battle royale that will
No,
never
but
be
games
down
go
in the
through.
entire fucking life.
Are you
Games
saying
go
that,
through.
like,
Games go through.
offline, you will
It
never have
happens
body.
sometimes. It's a rare occurrence, but it's something that happens.
Attention.
Wait, all right.
Attention.
Click comms.
Clear comms.
Now can
Comms
keep,
are
you
clear.
can keep going now. Go for it.
Are you saying that like the
Sure.
average Eternal Return experience is like 2 able-bodied people playing paraplegic Olympics or something? It's like teams of like paraplegic Olympics with 2 able-bodied people, like in the
No.
3v3 example. Like, holy. that's-
Usually it's better, but sometimes you are at a heavy disadvantage when you're loading into the game, and I don't think that would be okay. I'll say with matchmaking now, because before sometimes you would have like double immortal lobbies, sometimes you would have like plat lobbies, and you'd be like the only immortal, and then be like immortal plat or something weird. But definitely now, I don't think it would change whether or not I dodge a lobby if I see the enemy teams. Before, maybe it would, because maybe I could talk myself into going into the arena, hoping that every other team has the same starting line that I do. But yeah, I'm not sure that any stronger incentive making me not queue for the rest of the day. Doing like double, triple, even like quadruple the LP loss for dodging. I don't know. If a game looks like it'll drain me going in, I don't want to play it. And that's not even that often. Like, I play a lot of games, so.
So you're saying even with the new match queue changes, you still have 2 paralegics?
No. It doesn't happen that often. I haven't been dodging that much.
Hello.
I think,
But
when it happens, it happens.
Yeah, I think.
And if you say it doesn't happen, you're lying.
I think you just have to distinguish. Like, sure, like I said, I think you're playing the wrong game. If you need to dodge bad players to have fun, I think a lot of people can't distinguish the fact that a lot of people somehow delude themselves that they feel required to dodge to climb. We have like the majority of our top player base for the past 4 seasons all climbing with ever like I think even currently all of our top 3 or 4 players play completely without dodging and climb fine despite popping with 2 limbless players. Like very frequently.
Who dodges to climb though?
Good amount of people, not you. I'm not saying you, obviously, but I think if people legit believe that you should only dodge like if they're only dodging super really bad players that make the game unplayable, we wouldn't have as many dodges that we do now. But as it stands currently, 7 lobbies are the norm. We have half our lobbies get fucking aborted, so I don't think that's the case right now.
I'll close this topic, but first I want to hear. I'll let you go, Elisan, and then I want to hear Gallagher speak. He's his number one fan, and when it comes to dodging, because I don't think I've seen Gala dodge in a very long time. So I want to give him this medal on it. But go, Elisan.
I was just gonna touch on what Frankie said. Do people really dodge to climb though? Because like realistically, you have 3 dodges, right? Before you're quote unquote, like, let's be honest, you're blocked out of the game. No one's waiting 20 minutes just to get back on their main, just to go again, just to get the same player that they would dodge again, just to dodge for another 20 minutes. Like, I don't think it's an actual vibe.
Well, normally they get off after. But like, do you really think we have enough bad players? Like, do you know how many dodges we have now? Like, even compared to Conquest, we have much more dodges now. Do you think that most of our dodges are just from dodging bad players? Like, we're dodging bad players, you're gonna have to dodge half the region. Like, and when you're playing the wrong game.
I will say, I want to add to this. As I said, I dodged recently because of ERCS. I wasn't particularly dodging bad players, but rather bad comps that I didn't want to play. I felt like it was a
Like
bad.
that's the other side of it, right? That opens a whole nother part of discussion.
Well,
where
that's
it's
why I
like,
started with-
you dodge
That's
bad players, you dodge
technically
bad
still
comps, right?
still like dodging to climb, in my opinion. So I think that it does happen, and it is like a real thing. I mean, though, like the way I was gonna close this statement was gonna be, for the most part, dodging bad thing. But there is, people that want to dodge because they think they won't have fun, whether it's because they have a really bad comp, or simply the players they have when they feel like they're gonna have a shitty game, they won't have fun playing it, and it is a game. People are allowed to have fun. So, but with that being said, we did talk about maybe it should be a little bit harder, especially for those that might try to abuse that, to use it for climbing purposes and stuff like that. And plus, it kills the queue a lot more because we keep like some days there's just like 5 dodges in a row, and I want to end my life because our queue just became 20 minutes artificially.
Can I just
But-
say one thing?
Go for it.
I think under this take, people would have to also believe that if we made dodging cost 100 RP, there would be the same amount of dodges. But I think most people would understand that's just not true.
Yeah,
Like,
I was
surely if
kinda-
people aren't dodging to RP and they're only doing it to climb, then let's make dodging 100 RP, and surely people will still dodge. But would you look at that? If we did that, I can almost 100% prove that our dodge, the amount of dodge in NA would decrease dramatically.
Well, I was just gonna say that, like, in some people use the crossover and say in League of Legends, people dodge all the time, and there was a dodge culture, and they used it as a resource. And like, sure, Riot ended up implementing some things, but like, the argument in League of Legends is if you lose a game that you know was lost from the start, you now have to win a game just to be back where you are, which means that you need 2 games in order to climb. So for every loss, you need to get 2 to go up.
Is
But
that
in
even the
ER,
case? Yeah.
in ER, if you go fast 8th, it's like minus 60 or minus 50 something, minus 60 something, depending on where you are. But if you get a win, it pays for like at least 2 losses. And so like the difference between, like, sure, you win less often, but you're also gaining so much on the good games that you should be able to compensate for a ton of your bad ones. Now, on tight budget, like moments where like ERCS cut off and you got to do something, like, or if Cement Eater's in there, like, I think there should be a security that you can just hit the fucking self-destruct button on the lobby just to save yourself if you need to. But I do think that comparing it to the league dodging system is a little different, because in here you can just make back how much you lost so quickly the majority of the time if you have a bad game. Like it just doesn't, you can't make the same like connection to the league system, since the league system is either 50-50, you win or lose.
Okay. All right, Gala, speak your mind. You're a good boy, right? You don't dodge.
Me personally, a big guy like myself, like I'm LeBron James. Who the fuck? What do I need to dodge? You can put the 2 votes on my team. I'll put them on my fucking back. Like, I'm not a coward.
And
LP is
so,
a weight.
Why did you lose 200 RP the other night?
Well,
LeBron has his bad years. It's okay.
LeBron has a bad game. Man. Like, shit.
A bad game like the fucking game we got together, bro. Like, could you explain what happened that game?
That wasn't my fault, man.
No.
Shit. Nah,
Bottom damage, good sir. Like, could you explain, bro? Like, please, man, be serious.
not my fault, man. Be for real.
Okay.
I
Let's.
said my piece.
I appreciate you. You should start speaking more, otherwise I'm gonna bring you on every topic.
I'm in my Poke Rogue run, man. I'm locked in.
Cool. Good job. Keep on. Keep at it. I'm sure you're doing great. Let's move on to another topic discussion, guys. Very big problems, very important stuff. Some of them might not be super relatable to some of the lower elo players, those that can match with friends and stuff like that and have a fun time. Unless us lonely people up here climbing the peak might not get to relate too much to dodging, but it is an issue for those that are up here. And we want to make sure that when you guys get here, you guys don't suffer the same fate. But with that being said, let's move on to our next topic. Let me pull up something that you guys put in. It does seem like a lot of you guys actually wanted to talk about ERCS. Some of you were more specific on the format and stuff like that you guys maybe wanted to talk about, like match point and stuff like that. But a lot of you guys just put ERCS. or esports as a topic. So I'm kind of curious on what specific part of the ERCS or esports you guys were trying to talk about. Whether it's a format or just viability of an esport, or the competitive scene, like the state of it. Maybe about the current teams which we do have available now. They were seeded today. So anything in terms of the ERCS or competitive tournament for the season, official by November on, that you guys want to talk about, raise your hand now and speak. Any ERCS? A lot of you guys put this. Oh, go for it.
Oh, okay. I think that the bottom 4 slots, you know how it goes in like average elo. I think the bottom 4 slots should be qualified for, just like a weekend thing. Like it doesn't even have to be a 2-day thing, just like a 1-day thing. So there's availability to actually get in. Maybe it's like it literally could be as simple as like a 1-day like best of 1 type of thing where like you know 16 teams can qualify for the bottom 4 spots in the like the bottom 4 seeds in the ERCS bracket. But yeah, it felt kind of bad. A couple of my friends were like new to the game and they were pretty close to the LP cutoff, but they couldn't make it. And it was just kind of sad that, you know, they could get like 7K average LP, but yeah, so I kind of wish there was some alternative way to get in. Even if, you know, they didn't ultimately make it, at least they could kind of try and like start their Eternal Return competitive career. Yeah.
So maybe some sort of qualifiers for a region, a small one, even if it's just for 1 or 2 slots into the tournament, so you have an alternative way of making it in. Okay.
That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I do like that since you know right now, you know, as it stands, it's only like RP cutoff, and the RP cutoff was actually really high this time around. It was 7.5K. Obviously, it is a lot inflated from last season just because of how the rank system changed. But I mean, I think it was just really competitive to get in this time. Like I think it was as high as like ERM cutoff on the KR side.
It's
Yeah,
kind of,
I believe so. Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of like weird too because you can't pre-mate in rank 2. So if you're like really good with 2 other players, you can't like climb with them. Like you just have to be sent in the Coliseum and try to hope for the best.
Now, I ask you this because I am also a tournament organizer and I'm curious because, of course, rank seeding, generally speaking, happens based on rank, right? So, because of that, what would be the way to implement a way for people that are lower ranks to also partake into these qualifiers so they can make it into the main tournament? Even if it's
I mean,
just
the only
like
way,
a 120.
yeah, the only way to implement it would be have to like open qualifier, right, where like anyone can sign up and anyone can play. But since all slots are limited, and you know I don't think they have the resources to.
It is a
have
lot of
those.
manpower.
Yeah, so that's why you know it's cut down to only 16 teams.
I think you could do for the bottom 4 slots. You have 16 teams, and those 16 teams are cut off by RP. So it'd technically be like what 28 teams total, 12
So
plus 16.
you would do
Oh, I see what you
today's.
mean.
So you do today's cutoff first.
Yeah, so it would be today's top 12, and then the next 16 would play
Will go
for
play in the
the
tournament.
bottom 4. Yeah, bottom 4 slots.
I see what you mean now. Okay.
Hear me out. League of Legends has a clash system where they do automated tournaments in client that don't need anyone to manage them once it's set up. Why do we not have that option? I know our client is as XD as it is, but like League client has like the most XD history of all time, and they managed to somehow slide that in. Do qualifiers for ERCS via client and let it be automated so that people don't have to deal, and then just seed it out as the games go on, kind of thing. Eventually, the players that are winning everything will fight the other players that are winning everything, and then they get in for the bottom 4.
So the problem with that is that we don't have enough players. So, like, let's just say you want to play your ER Clash, whatever. Like, how are you gonna fill enough lobbies to like for the open qualifier when like you can probably barely fill like 24 like teams total, if that makes any sense. But like I mean, a lot of these problems are just like a player base issue, right? Like dodging, like I wouldn't see like Cement Eater in every game because there would be like, let's just say we had like 1 million players. Like, what's the chances I see Cement Eater every game? Or what's the chances like I see like some other low roll every game? Or what's the chances like to even make it up like in high elo, right? Because you wouldn't be able to see them in the first place. Same idea for the Clash. We just probably won't have enough like teams to register like in the clients for there to be like enough lobbies, or like some people might even get like skipped out because it's not like guaranteed because you need like 8 teams per lobby, right? So it's kind of awkward.
Okay. Lisa, you want to say something? Lucy.
Wait, what?
Hi.
Oh, I was just gonna say, one, let's let Griff speak when we can, and also two, let's be honest, our client can barely handle queuing. We cannot handle an in-game like Clash client, so let's just chill. We don't need
Okay.
like 9236 to come back.
Thank you, Lucy. Good info. Let's give a thank you to our staff, by the way, chat. They've been great so far, and they're doing amazing. But also, Griff, it's your time to speak.
So for ERCS, like the one thing that I really liked that they did was adding the wild cards, because first ERCS with Disbelief not making it in because we were third in our group, which was like group of death, was very not fun. And now that they have it since then, I am very happy that they have it. Aside from that, the teams this season look pretty good. I still think they have to figure out something with subs though, because having teams put their sub as a main player just to make it in, I think there should be something done with that.
So you want to specifically, I know exactly what you're talking about. Once again, we're not allowed to drop names that are not in this call, but just for context, essentially Griff is talking about the teams that want to label people as subs for RP cutoff, but those players that are there for RP cutoff will play none to very little games. Specifically none. It's the most like egregious case of like they were there specifically to make the RP cutoff, and they are actually not even going to play. So they're the real sub, if anything. Which I have seen a lot of feedback on the ERCS side of things. Like I saw a lot of people questioning and leaving feedback on stuff, and a lot of teams like looking at it. So if anybody here has any solutions or any propositions that you guys want to give out that could work as feedback for them, that'd be great. I would highly suggest you guys to do that.
I just want to say one thing about the whole sub thing. I will say, like, I mean, I know a lot of you guys have probably read like the questionnaire, like when Arky was talking about it too. Unfortunately, there's really like no way, like no matter what we do, someone's gonna complain on either side. There will always be people that are gonna try to cheat the system. And unfortunately, like when I talked to people earlier, the only real way to actually like get past this is just to have a bigger player base and add qualifiers in, which unfortunately is just like a farther thing away. But to the people, you know, that do sign up, like that is very, very, very important. Those numbers are so important for, you know, the people organizing these tourneys, because the only way we can add qualifiers is to actually show that our player base is big enough to actually hold more teams. So keep that in mind every time we do tourneys. Like, even if you don't think you're going to make the cutoff, just signing up in general is going to get you guys more tourneys and better opportunities. So try to keep that in the back of your head.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure KR just takes the top 3, so it's mainly just like in anything, I think, where people are just abusing the 4th member and they're just able to sign up, because in KR, like I think they usually always swap around like all 4 members of each team, depending on like who's playing well, who's playing bad, or whichever characters are meta. So I don't think it's definitely like an issue, but I don't think it's like that big of an issue, because like they're just taking whatever like KR is doing.
I would like to add, as a TO myself, don't make your TO's job harder. It's really annoying. Focus on playing the game and just be normal, okay? Let's try not to look for loopholes and stuff on our rules. It's kind of annoying. It makes us not want to do stuff. So please, let's be normal. You guys
I
abuse
wanna-
abuse the community a little bit too much.
Yeah, I want to go back a little bit to what Hoka said about the bottom 4 teams trying to make cutoff. I think it is like kind of weird in the last few hours before cutoff. There's a lot of roster changes in Google Forms editing. I'm not gonna like really harp on it too much because it is what it is. But I think it is kind of immoral a little bit, and it definitely makes people feel a little awkward. But I don't really have a good solution for it. But I would just say maybe we should make everyone's lives easier instead of harder when we're all DMing each other about, hey, we're gonna drop this guy and then put this other person on sub because they didn't get enough RP. I think it's only really an issue with the bottom teams that are trying to make the literal bottom cutoff. But I'm not really sure how you fix it. I'm sure there's someone that could put up a solution that's a lot better than some of the stuff that has been said, but it is just kind of weird that like teams form and disappear instantly, and you just see random subs or random like roster changes at the last minute.
Bro, skill issue. Just get more RP.
I see. My bad.
Chris.
Like I don't know, I think qualifiers are actually like a good idea. Like not just for like the bottom teams, but like maybe for all the teams. I think there was like a lot of interest in the RCS, but a lot of teams couldn't make it because of the RP cutoff. But just having a qualifier would pretty much just guarantee that the good teams will qualify since they should be winning if they're good, and it would allow more competition between the bottom teams.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I say. I think it's only an issue with the bottom 4 teams or like people who are at the cutoff. Everyone else is like way above it and they're completely fine.
I will say I like the idea of the qualifier of like the short, like the small qualifier for like specifically the bottom slots, mainly because it requires less manpower, and as we do have to accept our region is smaller and does not get as much support. So we could go into that and then maybe transition in the future into maybe a bigger qualifier for all the teams, if possible, like Korea has. But let's try to be realistic. But still, I like the ideas for your CS. We talked a lot about cutoffs and stuff and RP. Anybody has any thoughts about maybe the current format of how things run, or maybe about the now, for example, this season we're doing every other week? Do you guys like that better? Like that worse? Any feedback? Of course, we haven't gone into it like this is the first week, but just overall, any thoughts, ideas that you guys like, dislike?
I do like that it's every other week in the sense that we don't have to play right after the patch. So we don't have to really adjust and stuff. Like we'll have like 1 week before where we could practice, which I think is good. But also there being like 1 week of downtime means teams won't have to really or like really anything to really play for like 2 weeks. So
It's every other week?
yeah.
Okay.
Bro, do you not read?
Why is this guy on my team?
Oh, shit. Damn, I didn't know it was every other week. That's kind of lit.
Okay.
That's a good change.
I'll name it later. Anyways, bro. Oh my life. Anyways, let's. Okay, so yeah, every other week schedules. You guys, you know, good. Thank God he's fully deaf and like holy. Anyways,
Can I
yeah, you can go ahead and join in.
Okay, I wanted to add that I don't think these tournaments should have a prize pool, and I think that addresses what a lot of people are saying about like cheating and like the reasons we even have tournaments in this game. I think like the only reason that Nimble Neuron should even put money into tournaments at all is because they want to promote the game. I don't think I've seen anyone that has ever thought, "Oh wow, this is such crazy high level play. I want to play the game." At the very least, maybe we can have prize pool tournaments in KR. Still, that's like really different, but definitely not in NA, EU, or SA. I also think like maybe you can make the argument that some people play tournaments that just want to play with other high ranked players, but we have plenty of people that just sign up just because there's a prize pool but don't actually try to win. And you no more evidence than that to see that we had a solos tournament with a prize pool and we had only one person select Sua. So anyone that wasn't selecting Sua was not trying to win the game. No one actually cares about winning, and no one wants to actually put any effort into really winning this game. So I would really don't think we should have a prize pool tournaments, but maybe we could have tournaments that are free and should just be a lot more casual.
So you just want scrims. I mean, we have scrims already, which is basically that, right? I mean, prize pool is what keeps the esports scene going, and I think that's what like incentivizes people to sign up. Also, like you're saying, what do you say, Sua? People are playing Sua in solos.
Okay,
Like,
well, hold on. Let's not get into the whole Sua discussion. I would actually want to shoot myself. So let's keep it low. I do agree with Supers in this scenario. As a TL myself, I do think there's actually quite a big actual like I guess motivation for people to sign up for stuff. If there's a prize pool, it doesn't have to be anything big for what I've seen for a lot of stuff, especially for smaller community tournaments. So I do actually encourage a lot of other like people in the community that are thinking about maybe hosting their own tournament, even though it does take a little bit of effort and nobody gets it for the first time. You don't need a big prize pool to get people to sign up and actually play. But I do think having a goal there and having that prize there is a big motivator to a lot of people, and we can. It depends on like where people are in life. We got people here that are in different like brackets of life, I guess. But I remember in season 2, Roy, you know, young like me, just running people's pockets on every community tournament he saw just to, or like customs that had like $10 in it just to get in and snipe the money out of it. Like he was farming. He was actually just farming money. But like,
yeah, I just want to piggyback off of that because I know it's like generally been talked about kind of in like Discords already, and I know someone actually asked about it in the chat, but I know people have talked about like buy-in tourneys, which have happened like in the fighting game scene. I know a lot of us have kind of brainstormed doing that, but I wanted to get people's thoughts in on that as well, because unfortunately, like money is the biggest motivator. And as much as people like ragged on like the smaller tourneys that happened so often in solos days, I mean, they always filled. So, I mean, obviously it's something that gets people to actually play the game. So even buy-in tourneys is something that have been in the thoughts of community TOs, but we would just need more thoughts on it for sure. And I see a lot of people just unmuted, so I'm going to mute.
I think it would be pretty cool. Like, I'm pretty sure everyone can spare $5 to like join, because like I
don't
a lot of people
know.
like.
Yeah, Wiz cannot spare $5.
I
I'll say
don't
that
know
right
how
now.
we do, guys.
Can I?
Bro, like one of his teammates just pitches in the $5 as an investment, and then they just make bank.
Can I like clarify something there? So I don't know if that was supposed to counter me. Sorry if I'm misunderstanding, but I just want to clarify that I don't think it brings new players into the game to see people competing at a high level based on how it is, and it's mostly that most people are not trying to win. They will sign up if there's a prize pool, but they're not like trying extra hard to earn it. They're just like saying, "Oh, I'll just sign up and see if I can just dodge everything and just randomly win like a third-party XD."
I agree with the fact that like it doesn't really add too much new player value, I guess, because the advertisement for like esports isn't like as big. At least not in NA, right? Because like it's only like a Twitch stream, right? And then the Twitch stream doesn't really get advertised as much. But in KR, obviously, like there's teams getting sponsored. There's teams, or I think like the finals was hosted at like a really big event, like a LAN event. So over there, but like the price pool and the funding we get, I don't think is really as substantial anyways, so it doesn't really matter as much, I think would be the argument. And I think teams are trying to win, like we have like a lot of competitive scenes here, or like a lot of competitive teams, like we had Homeless win it, we had Trigger, coming pretty close. But then they end up throwing at the very end. But I definitely think teams are definitely getting there, right? I think teams are starting to form good rosters.
You're just throwing strays for what, man? That's kind of fucked up.
Also, wait, am I crazy? Like, if a team is signed up not to win, so like they're hoping to randomly dodge, somehow make it through groups is already a miracle, and then obviously they're not going to win. So like, and then they're going to try to randomly dodge and get lucky into third place, and then at third place they split like $50 three-way, and that's the goal. That's the end goal of these teams signing up.
I have this
I
guy
feel like that does
can't
not
even read. I kind of have to play for what I have.
I have other people read for. But go ahead.
I think maybe what Delinquent was trying to get at is like there's no real like, or like teams are, a lot of teams are playing with like just their friends. You know, they're not really trying to make like tournament winning rosters. But I think now in season 4 and you know even in the previous season, you know, we have like these top players teaming up like you know Nick, Wokes, and Rimrint, right? Like all 3 of those players. I think they're all like really good, and then you know they're like team now, and like homeless laptops as well. You know, I think you guys said right, you guys formed your team in a Twitch chat, right? So
Yeah.
I agree with that. Super. Also, I might be biased. Maybe people just really hated the solos mode, and they just really did not want to try on that. But people were more willing to try in squads.
yeah.
I just wanted to say with the, if I can, the buy-in stuff. Like I'm super FGC local build, but I feel like it would be perfect for this game. Like at least for me personally, like what if you manage to make a 2 lobby tournament that's 48 players, so even if it's like a $2 buy-in, it's like a $96 prize pool, right? For like a weekend tournament or a day tournament, that's like worth playing. Spend a couple hours of your life and get a couple dollars. If it's a $5 prize pool, it's like what, like 240 or something like that. You could split however you wanted.
Yeah, if everyone
I feel like
pitches in
that's more than worth
$5, like we could have a pretty big prize pool.
And you know, like kind of jumping off of what Delinko said, where people are like, or there's an impression that some of the teams may not just be taking it as seriously as they should. Putting in a money incentive does one of 2 things. It either means that they'll play way more serious, or if they still kind of want to cope and just play, they're just paying their like weekly tithe to the winning teams, and they're just like paying their little tax in order to play the game on competitive. Just like the priest there, just pulling out his hat and they give him the 10% of their earnings thing for the month, kind of thing. So either like it just means that the people that are taking it seriously benefit a lot more, and there's more incentive to really take it seriously. And those that either don't want to or just are like coping, they just contribute anyway.
I was just gonna say, it's also really nice to have just more, again, like weekend tournaments, smaller tournaments, because like ERCS is cool, but now especially with the like, you know, 1 game every 2 weeks, it's like if you compete in other games or do anything else with your life, it's like I have to think about my entire schedule for the entire month of July going into August if I can play for the 1 tournament we have every single season, right? So if you're a top player that just wants to compete on a smaller scale or has other things to do, like for me, instance, right? Like I could not play last season. I could barely play the season before for ERCS. I can barely play this season for ERCS, even though I am playing. It'd be nice to have things that I could just hop into and not have to worry about like a month-long commitment.
Yeah, I think that is the one big downside to your CS is that, you know, it is a pretty big commitment, especially now that, you know, the season is getting extended like an extra month, which is why I think, you know, like on the KR side, they do like a really good job where they have separate tournaments, right? But I think it's, again, it comes down to the pricing and the size of our, you know, competitive scene. We just don't have the funding to have like anything else that can really work.
Okay. If anybody else has anything to say, I would like to continue. I think we've covered a lot.
I was gonna say like pricing is kind of important because even if like I think most top level competitors in anything want to compete in a more serious environment because they want to better themselves against their opponents. But what a pricing does is it's like kind of insurance where you know your opponents will be taking it seriously because sometimes scrims are not super serious or like tournaments or any organized thing that doesn't have anything on the line. So that's why I think pricing is important because you have that guarantee. But I think the bigger picture is that people should have the mindset that they should try to improve to be the best they can.
Okay. All right. We covered a lot of topics. I did look at some of the other topics that we had on the survey and stuff, but some of them I feel like will be pretty short discussions, and we're getting that middle of the segment mark where we should start transitioning into the tier list. Before we go in there, you know, some of the topics that were also included in the survey that we didn't get to touch on much was stuff like the final team revival that they introduced recently, right? When there's 3 teams left, you fight over the other zone. If someone dies, the entire team comes back up, making it a more fair 1v1, which I think we can all agree is in general like a good thing, right? Especially sometimes somehow you do it in miracle 2v3 if you get your team back up somehow. It can be pretty hyped, so we live sort of for those hype moments. I don't think there's much there to touch on that. Next year we talked a lot about community tourneys, which was yours. So I'm happy we got to touch on that. And outside of that, I want to hear a little bit from the people that we did not get to speak with as much. So I'm kind of trying to go through the survey so I can get to your stuff. But Jast, the people want to hear you speak. Are you even here? Are you alive? Come here.
Oh shit. Yo, what's up?
Oh shit. What was your topic that you wanted to talk about on the survey? I'm trying to find it, but
On the survey? I think I just put
Yeah.
RCS. I didn't put anything else.
you just put your CS. What do you wanted to talk about specifically when you did that?
I think we covered about like the sub stuff. But like,
Okay.
you know.
So if there was a buy-in tourney and you had to put in $5, what would you do with Wisu? Would you take him off the team?
I mean, I guess we can like put it on his tab or something. I don't know. If we win the pricing, we can just like tax it, you know.
And if you lose, it's just $5 in debt.
Yeah. He'll pay it back eventually.
I see. Interesting. What do you think? What do you think about the current group that you got for your CS? Let's talk about that.
Oh,
maybe.
the group?
Yeah.
The group looks kind of lit. I think I don't know. We'll see. My team kind of blows when it comes to groups because we have a tendency to go like fast eighth. Like it's like at least once a week. So like you can kind of brush it off when it's like a checkpoint thing going on. Like when there's only 4 games, it kind of hurts. So like, you know, we'll see how it goes.
I see. To put my place in your favor. And then the other person I have not heard much of, Mario Kart. Can I get you? You didn't put a topic for the survey, so there's no topic there, but just in general, because I do know you're a rank warrior. I don't think you're in any ACS team. You just love the game or something. And you reached out to me because I couldn't find your Discord, so do you have anything to say?
Honestly, nothing much because I mean I'm just a casual, you know. So
Just a casual, an
Yeah.
evil warrior.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What's something I can ask you? We're about to transition into a tier list, right? So, where do you think Magnus plays in that tier list?
Okay, yeah. Everybody puts him like low tier, but like for like, I mean this is like pretty ranked, I guess. I mean I put him like T.5
Okay.
because I mean he kind of has everything he needs to like kind of like gain RP. He's tanky, he does damage, and he can like kind of just like bike in there. So like you kind of just like force fights.
For context, for chat, since they don't get to see the tier list, they don't know the formatting yet. Tier 0.5 is the second highest tier, and we did the rank. We didn't do a strict rubric this time around, but we did it based on rank climbing and overall character strength. So, but yeah, so essentially that's what he's saying. But yeah, he can kind of just get in, has everything to climb. It's just a solid tank. Do you think he's really good? But people say it's bad.
Yeah, but honestly, I think bad crit is better. But because like you can just like flash E people and like just -1 people in fights. But I don't know. I think I'm not that good with him. Or like good enough to like play bats. Because like tank is like way more forgiving. So I just like swapped back to tank.
I will miss that bat. That bat showed me great things in our games. But yeah, thank you for enlightening us. I will have you back here very soon. So we're gonna start jumping on to the tier list segment. Pretty much every one of these players, when they had to join the table, they got their invitation. They had to fill up a survey where they would have to put in a tier list. We took all those tier lists together and we made an average of all of them and we put it on a tier list. So we're gonna be looking at that tier list combined instead of going through each individual one, and then we'll modify it based on what we think is right, what we think is wrong. Each person here will get a chance at going into their main characters. Some of these people here play multiple characters, but they're gonna talk mainly about the character that they feel more comfortable talking about and why they agree or disagree with the placement that was given to that character. And after the 30 seconds happens, because this time we do have a hard timer actually, we will go ahead and do. After the 30 seconds happens, we will go ahead and let other people in the call so that they can also agree or refuse, or agree or disagree with what was said of why that character should be good in that tier or not. It'll be a little confusing, but I'm sure we'll get it. We've done this many times now. So, with that being said, here is the tier list reveal for this roundtable. Which, by the way, Frankie didn't make a tier list for me, nor Hoko, so I hate you both. But anyways, here we go. NA roundtable tier list time. We got quite like a big tier list here, with maybe a character a little bit on top of others. There's one specific character that kind of made it over everyone. No surprises here though. Every season it's kind of been there. The tier list, it is not order from left to right. So each character on every tier, it's considered kind of equal for the most part. So have that in mind. We do have a lot of heavy, a lot of characters in the middle, but I'm sure that will change after we start going through some of our players here and them telling us if they agree or disagree with the placement. Starting us off, let's start with our rank 1, Super, for Sua, who was placed in the T 0.5, the 0.5 tier. So,
all right, who put Sua in tier 0? Why is she so high? Who did it?
She's just good. She's just the best character in the game. Like
Me, I did. Fucking dumbass champion.
Bro,
You
my
remember that fight in
character-
You remember that fight in Chapel, man? You fucking missed. You had a Charlotte and feel back to fucking
Okay,
full
but I had a
health.
Charlotte. I had a Charlotte. It is what it
Man,
is, man.
the
Like,
fucking my
and we hit the fucking heel clone, man.
No,
Like, come on.
no, you did
Bro, we
not.
hit
You
the
did
fucking heel
not.
plat.
This
The heel plat
shit.
was sprayed the whole time.
No,
Like, what are you talking about, man?
No. We're making shit up.
Okay. You just wanna skim over the details of that fight. I see. To
Oh,
fit
that's
your
all.
narrative.
It's all the details. You're
I didn't even make it tier list. But yeah, Sua scales with how bad the region is. So Sua's good when the region is bad, and we're in NA.
But if we're talking about
make a
solely
tier
an
list.
NA tier list, then okay, yeah, I agree. Sua is definitely.
Also, you guys all,
best
I didn't make a
argument
list, but
for
you guys all failed
0.5.
this list. We have more than half the entire roster in one tier and then a single S tier. Like, what did you guys do?
Yeah, like I mean, I think it just average it. Like it
One
just
S
averages
tier,
it
and
out.
then the entire roster of characters is in the same tier.
Yeah, but if you realize how averages work, right, it's gonna average towards the middle because some people are gonna rate it high, some people are gonna rate it low. So I mean, it makes sense that most of the characters are there. But yeah, I mean, I don't think Sua is as strong as people think right now, just because the damage is a lot higher this season.
Am I crazy?
So
We did averages in the
easier.
previous roundtables, right?
Yep.
Did not look like this.
No, I think they did majority. So if there was like 15
they did.
votes on like tier 1 and 15 on tier 2 or 14
yeah,
on tier 2.
that is true. Last time we did do majority votes, so it was a little bit different this time. It is by averages, which is slightly different.
Oh.
It's also the last time there was one where we had a rubric. There was one where we just said raw character strength. This time there's also rank involved, so that could also play a factor in why the tier list looks the way it is. So Super, you're saying Sua should go down?
I think she's probably 1.0. I don't think she's like any weaker than that though. But I do think because of how high the damage is right now, it's actually really easy to burst her down. I've died so many times where people would just all focus me and then I die. And then if I die, we usually lose the fight. So I don't think she's as strong as these other characters. I also don't think some of these other characters should be in 0.5. So, but yeah. I do think she is not in 0.5. If this is solely an NA tier list, then sure, because I do think Sua does thrive off other people's mistakes, their mispositioning, and them getting hit by skill shots. So
Yeah, nice
Okay.
scope.
I make an executive decision to keep Sua where it is right now, but I'm kidding. I'm gonna lower it just for now, but let's see how one of the others discussion go. Let's try to respect the timer a little bit more. We're gonna do it this time properly rather than having Gala jump in the moment we start. Let's go ahead and have the person, what's it called? The person representing the character talk for their 30 seconds before we get people in. Okay. So also chat is very mad at me, so we're doing this for now. Sorry, Super. You're perfect. I'm pure pressured. But anyways, let's go ahead and move on to Bowser. Bowser with Kaja, an ADC, who is also on the same tier as Sua currently. You got 30 seconds the moment you join into the call to defend that she should be where she is currently, or if she should go up or down. You ready?
Katja seems fine on the tier list. She's very simple to play, and it's just how good the pilot is on positioning. You're only as good as your teammates, so the teammates are your real handicaps, if anything. She has really good vision and utility, as well as decent damage, so I'd say it's pretty fair on the ranking.
Okay, with an minute to use those 30 seconds. Good job. You're adapting. Anybody would like to now jump in to agree or disagree on Kajia's 0.5 tiering, or maybe even add to what Buzzer said, because I do know we have some ADC players here that might dabble into the character every now and then. Any Kaja fans? She's an easy character, and she's actually a very popular one as well. So.
Am I supposed to just look at the stream for the timer?
I pretty much I will tell you when it ends, so you don't have to look at it if you don't want to. But pretty much the moment you start speaking, I end it, or I start it.
I guess I'm be arguing for Kacha to move up a tier. I don't know. I really don't know how the tier is supposed to go, but I do think like Kacha's got to be one of the top 3 characters in the game right now. I don't know how anyone is supposed to touch her. Anyone that doesn't do anything about her will just die to her 1v3, and anyone that tries to do anything to her, she just dashes away, and that character is just instantly dead as well. I don't know how anyone can do anything to catch her. She can just lead her team and check every single bush. And I don't know how you can argue any character in the game is better than Kacha.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I think Kacha is just a better Rio this patch. She is way too strong. I had her in tier 0, and I think she should be tier 0. That character is so dumb right now.
Okay, so we get people that want to move Kaja up. Anybody would like to add on?
I think Kaja should get moved down. I do not really see the strength of this character versus Heart or Rio, but I do admit that she does do damage, but like her utility is very low, and she kind of dies very easily to some of these other like top tier characters.
Yeah, I kind of agree with I agree with Cairo here. I think the part that makes Katya obnoxious is into either other ADCs or into squishies, because she usually builds like a pen kind of like hybrid build rather than like full crit attack speed or something like that. And so against tanks, she's pretty well gated, and like her time to kill tanks is much lower than a lot of the other AD carries. But against ADC versus ADC, or ADC versus Mage or something like. Although Mage has, it's not exactly the same. ADC versus ADC, it's really oppressive to fight against Katya, because you have to take 1 to 2 autos and a Q before you can even hit her back, and because she's good at building such a high AP build that and her passive lets her kind of sheen proc off you, like those early hits hit really hard. But if you can make it past that, then I find that she usually breaks, contrary to something like Rio, where whether you're for long range or short range, she's hurting you, and she's a little bit more free and can like laser you down as soon as you get on her, kind of thing. So like If we're gonna keep Katya there, I think we need to lower some of the other ones. But I'm also okay with lowering Katya just because she's great in certain aspects and terrible in others. And so I don't feel like it's as flexible as Rio, but
Guys, we are not moving Kaja down. Kaja is probably the strongest ADC right now. Her damage is just so much better than the other ECs. I think she's definitely the strongest currently, outside of Heart. I think Heart definitely has more just because she has a lot more utility, but like she's just better Rio right now, I think.
Yo, I think this character is fucking terrible. I've never seen the character be useful in any scenario, ranked and solo queue combined. It literally does nothing. You can just click her and she dies. I think if you identify that she needs to play slow in order to be successful, if you just like don't do that and don't give her what she wants, like I think the character is not that great. You can argue that she's like, like not like, maybe yeah, she could be like tier 1, but like there's no way that guy's
Bro, her range, she hits you from fucking China, man.
Yo, just click her, man. I don't get it. Like just
have two bruisers, hate crime,
like,
man.
Okay, but like you can walk at her. And like
all you need is 2 bruisers to hate crime and focus her and she can't play.
Bro, she is fucking like top 5 pick rate in fucking top 1,000 right now, and with like good win rate. Like she is not. We are not moving her down. We are not moving.
I
her
don't know,
down.
man. I've never seen her be useful. That's
She
what I'm
is
saying.
probably like the best ADC right now outside of Heart.
Okay.
She's easy, but like she's definitely not the best, man.
So we got people bringing her down, people bringing her up. Bowser, since you were the one who got invited here to technically Katia, what do you think about bringing her up?
I mean,
Bro, why don't you ask me this? Like no one disagreed with me.
I said that she was fine on staying where she is for 0.5.
Okay, I know we're not sorting by left to right, but I think if we want to have a nice time and a good medium, I think I'm just gonna put her right here, and we're gonna call it a day. But people are saying essentially that she can rival Heart right now, and some people say she's completely useless. Personally, I think, or like she's not like as strong as these like Rio, Heart, which is the ones like very meta ADCs that people are comparing her to. But I think I'm going to move her all the way to the left and take the discussion and sink it in her head and let it sit in 0.5. Since some people want to go up, down, I'm just going to average to where it is. But we're going to move on to the next character. With that, I want to hear the one who made me change the rep, because originally they were Rossi, but now after the Dema skin, they're now on Dema. Dylan.
Bro, it's not only the skin.
You got the skin on the card.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't just play her because of the skin. I've been playing her since release, but just maybe not in ranks. Because I was kind of struggling, but it's unleashed. Now it's unleashed. Her spot on the tier list, I think she could go up like 1 tier, just because you can decide a team fight so easily. There's good items on her, like the new shield and the headpiece. Yeah, that's about it.
So you say she should be 0.5?
She's definitely strong in my opinion, so either 0.5 or 1.0. I don't mind.
Okay. For Dema. What do you think about Rossi quickly, just like tier wise?
Okay, okay, for Rossi, as long as she's under the other ADCs, I'm fine, dude. I don't care. She's not as strong as fucking Katya. She's not as strong as fucking Rio. She needs to be lower than them.
Okay, so you're happy with her placement?
Yeah.
Okay, anyone here that would like to that agrees with Dema going up versus her staying, or if she should stay where she is, maybe go down even? Anyone would like to add on to that?
Well, since no one wants to like jump the gun, I would just like to add on to what Dylan said about Rossi. I think, yeah, I like fully agree with how the damage is in this game. Like being a short range ADC is definitely very rough. So for Rossi, it's definitely very, very hard for her to be effective in the meta right now. And I think it's kind of easy to see. I mean, we always have Katya or Rio in most of our games. Don't really see Rossi because they can't really do much. So I definitely think as long as she's lower than the other ADCs, that is a pretty good take to have.
Okay, thank you, Lucy. Thank you. It looks like Dylan just did a good job, and he's just good. And yeah, his characters are just weak, and he's just a great player that doesn't need to get carried by his character like some others were talking about T0 characters and stuff, you know. So yeah, good job, Dylan.
Well, I just want to say about Razi that I think Razi gets like a lot stronger when it's like a more like melee heavy meta. But if you look at the tier list, there's like a lot of ranged at the top, and most of the melees are near the bottom. So I think that makes Razi a bit weaker.
That's true. It's true. Bosnia has always been good against melee characters. It's true. With that being said, we're gonna move on to the next one, which is gonna be the Linko on Bianca, who originally would have had to, I guess, fight against Kiras, but Kiras unfortunately couldn't make it today. So we will just have the Linko for Bianca today. So can we get the Linko here so I can restart my timer?
All right, I know everyone is probably gonna have this problem, but like, I feel like I really need some kind of guideline to go off of. But I just don't see how you can rank anyone without the tier 1.0, right? Like I can talk about Bianca does a lot of good things. You can check every single bush. You can lead your team despite being a mage. And if anyone on the other team messes up, you can just Thanos snap them from the fight, and that usually is pretty good for climbing. I don't know how you can ever compare that to any of the advantages or disadvantages of all these other characters when like half the tier list is here in the middle. That's all I can really see.
This is true. It's a lot. It's hard to compare it to a lot of the other characters because there's a lot of characters in one tier. But at the same time, I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a lot of characters in 1.0. Once again, a lot of the tier list is is going to be it's gonna have a tier that's just gonna be very average or like middle of the pot because as much as we believe it, the game is total balance and there is meta characters, so there is some that are gonna be at top, but it's not gonna be the majority. It's happened in many tier lists that we've seen, where it's actually I don't think there's never an equal distribution between the tiers. There's always gonna be one, and it's usually the average one. That's like middle to the top middle that will get a lot of characters. In this case, I do think it's a little bit loaded. So the main question here for people is: are we going up? Are we staying? And why? And if you want extra reasons, since we are taking rank climbing into account, it could be things as flexibility in comps. It could be things like better survivability, which can allow you to not wipe in a team fight. Uptime, stuff like that, that are things that will help you climb no matter what. Like Sua, for example, is a character that's very flexible in multiple comps, so I would rate her slightly higher in this kind of tier list. Because of that. Also, Taco, thank you for the raid. You can go ahead if you want to choose rating. If you do think 1.0 is correct, then that's fine, and you can just tell me more about Bianca and why you think she is a good character to pick up. Maybe for someone who's watching the stream.
Talk about like why to play it for like fun or why to play for climbing, because this tier list is supposed to be for climbing and solo queue.
Why do you think she's a good character? Like, why do you think she's in 1.0 and not in tier 3, right? Like, why she can rival all the other mages? What are her strengths and weaknesses?
Yeah, I'd probably say like I talked about him like really fast before. Like the biggest strength is that unlike other mages, she can lead. You can lead people where to go. You can check every single bush. You can be in the front, and you can play neutral. That's a privilege a lot of characters don't have. You're just sitting there waiting for someone to make a mistake. Sometimes they just go on you, and you just R-totem, and they're just instantly dead. And a lot of characters can't do that. You can also just wait for someone to overextend, and a lot of people see Bianca's ult and just run away, and they're also just instantly dead. Bianca's big strength is playing on people that don't know how to play against her. She's always been like a noob check, even been in solos, so that makes her pretty solid for climbing.
Okay. A lot of big potential, which can help you get kills, stuff like that. definitely an important thing to have, and for Bianca, and honestly, kind of underrated. But the ability to go in front of your team to either check pushes and in general just lead them. If you're in the high elo, that means you can lead the macro for your team, which also means you get to control your TFT units, which is pretty important. So
I agree. I think Bianca, I think 1.0 is probably a good a good place to play her. I think maybe in NA she's slightly higher just because a lot of people don't really cancel Bianca as much or they don't really look out for it. But just in general, like as a character, I think her placement is fine because she has the engage, she could swing fights, but she also has like the downside of, when she uses her ult, she's not really like too much of a character that can really do anything.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of that, I know this is like for ranking, but even like for competitive play, like we've seen Bianca be played in a lot of different aspects where she's played with like double frontline or even double backline, so she's pretty flexible as well when you're picking like your solo queue team comp, which is always a really important thing, I think, while you're climbing.
nice. All right, good job, guys. Ellison did have to go. I guess I will do Tia for him. Tia is where do we put her? She's in 1.0. I was talking about Ellison before the podcast started. This character's broken. Like the last patch they did, she got cooldown reduction on 0.5 on every single like spell, which brought her back to her solo state, which is just like super crazy. We get our rotation so much better. We can 100 to 0 a lot of characters as long as we have blink up. And specifically, like we kind of struggle against ADCs, which are pretty strong right now. Like Heart, like kind of fucks us up. Kaja hits us from outside of range. But if we're going against like another mage, we can silence them and completely negate them. And a lot of the tanks that rely on casting a spell, such as whether it's their attack skill, like Lennox with like Force Field or something like that, or like Mai who has to press W, any of those tanks that have to press a spell to be tanky, Alonso even, we can silence them and then they're completely just gonna get front to back. So I think she's really strong in this patch. If we need stats to back it up, I guess the highest KRT right now is like almost top 10. So I want to say, especially after the last patch, I think this character is at minimum 0.5. I wouldn't like to see her any lower than that, personally. But I could see an argument against it. She's also really flexible and can be in a lot of comps, I guess, which helps for like the ranked tier list, but I personally want to put her up here.
Yeah, I'm surprised you guys put her so low. Like the most recent patch, like them given every paint like 0.5 seconds of cooldown. Like I think this character is so strong now.
This character's fucking stupid, man. You get hit with one color combination. I don't even know what the color combinations do. You get hit with one of them, you lose your whole fucking health bar. Like, hello?
Yeah, my teammate doesn't know what my character does. For sure, in words right before ERCS.
Bro, you get hit with the silence. Why is the silence like 5 hours, by the way?
Oh, okay. So we're gonna do a little bit of rearranging on the tier list. This came just now. So Early, who is responsible for my tier list, had to decide on some of these characters on rounding up or down. So I'm gonna do a quick rearrangement with some of the opposite, like rounding up or down, and see if you guys agree or disagree. Okay. So we're gonna do this, and then.
Rio T0.
Okay. Sorry, 1 second. It's not over. We're also moving some from up here.
Yeah, you keep moving. Also with Tia, I feel like she like when you go into the other mages that are good at picking characters, I think Tia has a lot of like all the mages. And the fact that she can just like self-heal so much and she has a lot of uptime to do that is absolutely insane.
Bro, if
Yeah, I
she
think-
has 2 chickens, she fucking heals back to full health.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like the yellow-blue combo into alt, like you just one-shot anyone and then you just instantly like make the fight a 2v3. But I think with the most recent buff is what pushed her to tier 0.5 just because she could infinite combo now, I think.
Okay, I think that was all the characters that I was told that were very on the edge between one another. So since we had complaints on too many people at 1.0, I decided to rearrange the tier list to what it is now. It seems like you guys agree. Tia's broken. Honestly, should have put her at T0, but for now she'll be 0.5. So we are going to But yeah, we're gonna be looking at this now. So, tier discussion over. Characters broken. Good job, guys. Hopefully, I made justice for Elisan, who had to go. I'm sure he would agree or disagree with a lot of the stuff I said, but it is what it is. With that being said, we are gonna move on to our next I guess debate, which would be which Rio wants to speak.
I can drag them both up here, and if they can just kind of talk with each other.
Sure. Rio went up to Z0, so I'm sure they have lots to say.
You go first, Griff.
Okay, yeah. So first of all, Rio is not higher than Katya. Let's get that out of the way first. Rio should definitely be either even or lower than Katya. I think all of the nerfs that they do to her never address the actual problem, which is adrenaline. As long as adrenaline is the same way that it is, where it breaks attack speed cap, she will always be good. Like, this augment is legit keeping her really strong. It doesn't matter how many damage nerfs you hit her with or movement speed nerfs. Adrenaline also gives her movement speed. Like, I don't know. I'm fine with putting her at tier 0.5. I don't think tier 0 though.
Right, so I made my tier list with the idea that I was ranking characters assuming perfect play in North America. I definitely think she should be 0.5 and not 0. I think she was absolutely broken when season 4 first dropped, but she's been nerfed multiple times, both directly and indirectly. Tuxedo got nerfed, GPN VG got nerfed. A lot of people in here clearly don't value the things that I think make a character ideal for climbing to rank 1 NA. Watching Super, Rio can't vision cheese well. She's incredibly fragile, and if you have AFK teammates and just running at you, you will just die. She doesn't have good escape. So if you lose a fight, you often get run down, which I think is really being able to escape is really key for having consistency in climbing. Frankie's tier list claims she's easy to play, but Inferior 1 has a 16% win rate, and that's on a Smurf. That's the NA's #1 on a Smurf. So is she hard to play, or maybe she's not quite as broken as she was at the beginning of the season, and there's some major cope? I don't know.
No.
I'm just gonna say that.
It begins.
Quit your fucking
Whoa, whoa. That's weird. For some reason, we have Heart in tier 0 and our fucking. They can't even fucking play it because for once in their fucking lives they have to click more than 3 buttons. Wow, I never knew ADC had to do this. I don't come up League. I just really like the turret and League of Legends. Are you fucking let's go to Griff. Let's see why you try to pick up tier 0 Heart. Let's see where you ended up. Oh wait, when you start playing the ADC that requires fucking hands, you can't because you're so used to playing the fucking turret. Sure, I guess sure you can make an argument for rank 1 being a little bit harder because sure I can. I agree. I think Sua is really good at rank 1, but I don't think this tier list isn't exclusively what you can climb to rank 1 with. I think Rio's is very good. I don't think it should be tier 0, but I don't know. I think that take was crazy about Super. That was an insane take. I think she's 0.5.
Bro, Maria wasn't even that bad, man. Come on.
Yeah, she's 0.5.
Dude, Rio Katya, they're the same shit, man. They're fucking broken, no finger characters, man. It doesn't matter.
I think Rio has utility, but Katya has a damage right now, and I think they're about equal, as an ADC together.
They're always going to swap between whichever one is better. I don't know. They're both just stupid.
But they both have the long range, so.
Okay, I will be putting Rio 1 down next to Katya, but behind it, I guess.
Thank you.
I think we came to a conclusion.
So Gala thinks he's on the team. Wait for Abigail. Right, Gala.
He's on the team. I am the team.
Can I just say something quickly about this? I think the biggest thing about Rio and Katya specifically is that there's too many ways to increase range in the game now. The VG helmet and the increasing popularity of E-Shift. I don't have a problem. Maybe a hot take, but I don't have a problem with their damage. I have a problem with how safe they can be doing that damage and how difficult it is to break the gap between you being far out, getting hit, and you reaching them without being dead before you reach them. I think NVG shouldn't exist. They should just remove the passive and switch it with something else because I like the stat stick on it. I like having attack damage, attack speed, and crit as an option for a helmet. That's pretty cool. But I think if if a maximum range was applied, kind of like how a diminishing return on maximum range applied to characters that already have a lot of range, we would see immediately a dramatic difference in how oppressive these characters feel, because like it's
Well,
not about their damage, I think.
MPV does get capped by E shift. So E shift and MPV, it's like the same range because there's
Yeah.
like a cap on attack range. So like, what's the difference between like a Rio E shifting and hitting you from like the same distance that MPV will?
I'm saying both are problematic. Like I
Oh,
honestly
okay,
think like
okay.
I think even E shift should be cut. Like either it doesn't work after a certain range, so that these characters can't use it at all, and they have to figure something else out. But the lower range ADCs can, like Razi and like even Isil, I think like is like in a world where like they can't actually function without E shift because of how much damage and how like low the time to kill is on an AD carry right now. Like they just get touched by anything and they're gone. So I think like the low range ADCs having E shift is a cool option, but the long range ADCs shouldn't even be allowed to use it, because that would make the balancing easier and change a little bit about it, and then we could talk about their damage. I think right now it's about the range at which they can hit that is the problem more so than the damage.
Okay, I mean that's definitely like a fair take to have, just because I mean I do agree that it is kind of a problem that they're able to auto from so far away, but I do think like if they do overstep or if they do misstep, you are able to punish them pretty nicely. But yeah, I mean range is definitely an issue for sure.
I agree.
Longbow should have had a attack range cap to begin with, but the issue with that is like you would also have to rebalance her passive with Longbow, because the Longbow already gives like another range increase, so like that would be something they would have to rebalance if they do give a cap. But yeah, like pretty much every single Rio has to run E shift at this point, just because of how safe you can be with it, and GPMVG is also just really good. The only downside is it costs a myth, but that's not even a real big downside.
I would like to stop Rio here. We've been yapping too much about this character. I think we reached the conclusion after they got to 0.5. I appreciate everyone's input on it. Wisu is now on T0 or T3 or whatever. He's staying over there as he misbehaved. But we're gonna go on the least. Galazor, it's your turn. Your character also got moved, so you get to speak. You went up to 0.5. And
Alright.
I'm pulling the timer on you on this one, okay? So, like, take your 30 seconds.
Bro, if you die to this character, you're a dipshit. There's just no other way around it. You have to be the worst player of all time to ever die. She has no range, no fucking damage early game, worthless for 90% of the fucking... Like, are you stupid? Like, how do you ever die to this thing? Like, you're the worst player ever. She's can't even be played in competitive because she's a worthless assassin. Like, bro, how do you think she is even above like tier 1.5? Like, you are stupid as fuck.
People can jump in now.
Worthless character. Yeah, that's what I thought. I know I'm right. You don't need to step up. The
You're saying she
greatest
should go
ever.
down?
Yeah, she should go fuck. She shouldn't even be at like 0.5. Like, you're saying this character's on the same tier as Rio? Like, are you stupid? You think Rio and Abigail are in the same tier? Like, yeah, okay, buddy. Like, be serious.
If nobody will step up,
Okay, I just want to say, if you play
No,
Abigail and you
get
think
this
this
guy
character
outta
is weak,
here!
if
Get
you
this
think
guy
this
outta
character
here
is
now!
weak, then you
Get
must
this
not have
fucking
hands. Like,
guy!
I don't know how
This
else to say it.
I don't wanna hear it. I don't wanna
Last
hear
time
it
you
from your
fought me,
fat
you pressed
ass.
Strider, ran at me with E, missed W, missed R, and still almost killed me. Like, it's so disgusting what you are doing on this
That's
character.
not true.
Like, it's
Not
actually
true.
crazy
Not
how
true.
bad you play the character and still
You
get free
probably
kills.
mispositioned. Like, I know you suck, man. Like, please.
Yo, actually, Galazor, your character was played in ERM. In the last
She
phase.
did bad,
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
She did.
Yeah, she did. She did pretty
What
bad. She did pretty
the
bad.
But yeah, I think
Luminal the player, but I don't think she's 0.5 either. I think
she's probably 1.0.
1.0.
Like, be for real. Like this Chris probably put at fucking 0. Like, yeah, you're a dipshit, man. All the ADC players put at 0. You suck.
Hey, I put her at tier 1.
I think she's one. I think she's one, but I think that she is like one of the best characters in the game at like vision cheesing. Like if you have a bad teammate that steps up and gets Abigail W, then you probably lost the fight unless they're a tank.
That's
So.
just not
Yeah,
true.
she plays off like people's mistakes as well, like and their misposition.
Yeah, it's just solo
since-
queue.
Yeah, it's a solo
Because
queue
it's a solo queue
character
tier
and a
list, this character has to be
Solo
1.0.
queue character and you still wrote a slide. That's crazy.
I don't know, man. She beat me this patch because last patch, Galazor built Revenant, and me and my teammate, I was on his team, me and my other teammate had to collude to make him not 1v3 every fight versus random Plat Diamond players. Like, he just walks forward and Kachias just explode. I don't know.
Yo, guys,
If you're
it's
talking about
cool
climbing and
mistake.
platinum, this character wins every fight.
Abigail
like-
isn't
sounds
the
like what I
problem.
heard.
It's Strider. Strider is the thing, right? Like,
Oh,
that character
I-
doesn't do
press
anything
tab.
if you actually stand back for a second and don't let her hit you with W, unless all of the sudden she just point and click ease you without W, and now you're 50% slowed for 3 seconds, so you can't get out of the R. That is the only time that character does anything now.
Her E is not a point and click. It is an omnidirectional dash.
Tension.
Yeah, whatever you say, man.
It is.
We are getting a hero, secret hero, to
What?
join in. But anyways, I
You let him
think
go?
we are letting Gala go with take her money here and go down to 1.0. It looks like. But we do have our special guest,
Oh my god.
Rim, who's joining us.
Oh,
hell no.
man. This
Not
guy's
this
so
guy.
fucking bad.
He's playing Ida now.
This guy plays ADCs too. Like, we need like actual humans to have conversations with, man. Like, please. ADC players do not have rights.
Bro, he's not even playing ADC. He's playing, I think, Sniper Aya now.
It's the
like,
same
like,
shit.
what-
That's just
Wait,
that's
wait,
hopeless
wait.
Like, it's
shit,
worse.
man.
He's
Wait,
here.
you guys are not talking about Rimrent, but it's redeemed.
Oh, it's redeemed.
Oh,
Oops.
my
god.
You guys need to
Never mind.
Blamed him for
We
nothing.
good. Shit, that's my guy right there.
Okay, can I want to say it is my bad. I did not mean to call any names, but I'm on streamer mode and I could only see R, and I didn't recognize the picture. I thought I was remembering the picture. My bad. Anyways, Radit, what's up, man?
What's good,
Hi.
gang?
We have had Effect and Ellison leave this table. We have had a severe lack of mage players to actually give their opinion at this table. Playing against this Abigail character is actually pain.
You motherfucker, man. Like, I thought you were on my
Putting this
side.
character in a solo queue environment, putting this character anything below 1.0 or even 0.5 is actually the worst thing possible. When you can win a fight automatically. Do you remember that game we played with Zig? We actually 2v3 the entire game because you just clicked on the enemies, dealt 40k damage, and completely wiped the lobby. There was nothing that they could do. I didn't get to play. You 1v3'd every single fight.
Just the greatest to ever do it, man. Like, how's that equate to fucking the character's strong? Because I'm the best to ever do it, man.
Can you
No one
define
else
that?
can
Okay,
do it
no,
like
hold
me.
on.
How
We need
would
a
you
public
define
service
greatness?
announcement for NA. Please, if you want this character to go down 2 spots on the tier list, when they press R, just pistol skill, flash, use any escape to get out of it. Why does every ADC decide to tank the R and then flash away afterwards like it's gonna make
True.
He kills me without
I
R!
agree.
What do you want me to do? He auto D-skill Qs me and I'm dead!
That's true. You are coping.
You're playing Haze. I'm pretty sure you outrange her, and if you,
You
press,
just rocket her.
if you press
Attention.
tab, that's how you go to a Strider.
He stridgers at me.
Attention, no more time for this
Well,
Gala
that's
bastard.
your team. That's up to your teammates to stop
Or-
the Abigail. Then it's not like
We're
your fault.
sticking to 1.0. Unfortunately, as Radin was not able to bring it up, as he is the only mage player here. My character's an assassin, not a mage, so I cannot back him up on this. We'll stick on 1.0, and we will continue onwards as we're behind schedule, so we're not following our timers. But we are going to move onwards with. Let's go with Jazz Tsubame.
Yo, what's up?
What's up? I'm starting the timer now.
I think Tsubame is pretty non-controversial, like top pick right now. I'm really surprised that people put her in 1.0. She's really, really strong. Her damage is really good. She's an ADC, does very consistent DPS. The only weakness is that her range is very short, and so her neutral is pretty bad. But it's compensated by the fact that you can pretty much go anywhere in the fight in like 1 second because you run Blink, you have your E that you can also go back to, and you can also just hit someone 3 times and press R, and you travel across the screen, and it's on an 8-second CD, or you could just rip it even if they don't have any stacks, and you can just like teleport across the screen and kill any priority targets, or you can just play slow. She has like a million options, so I think she's really good, and she probably moved up honestly.
So Jazz says to go up to 0.5. He uses 30 seconds perfectly. We should all learn from him. Can anybody who wants to dispute his decision of going to 0.5? Anyone who wants her to stay on 0.0? Anyone? Or are we good with Tsubame going up with the reasons Jazz put together?
Yeah, I agree. I think she's a solid ADC right now, probably one of the better ones. And I mean, she just won the last ERM. I don't think she got any changes in the last patch, so I think she's pretty solid.
Oh, she did get nerfed actually, but I haven't played.
Was it big or no?
Apparently, apparently, according to Early in her survey, we did get a perfect 1, for Tsubame. Like everybody put 1. But if Jazz says up and nobody's complaining, I'm down. This character runs my money in rank, so I'm always down to put her up.
I think that the reason that we were thinking Tsubame was tier 1.0 is because Jast was not playing and was on a vacation.
True. Qatar is like just hard abusing, so
I mean, if the nerf was pretty big, then it's understandable if people put it down to 1.0. But I'm not too sure how big the nerf was.
Yeah, no, me neither.
I shall keep her where she is now. Just take the discussion and consider it as you wish. I think we're fine. That being said, we're gonna go to, I believe, our lowest member on the tier list, which would be Mario Kart with Magnus, who's the only one I think here who is on a tier 2.0. So a real warrior here.
Yeah, honestly, I think he's at least 0.1. I mean, I put him 0.5 because, I mean, Bat. Okay, wait, do I talk about Bat or Hammer? Can I do both?
You can talk about both if you wish.
The crit is like OP because you just like -1 people in fights, and Hammer you kind of like just bike in and kill the backline. The only reason I think he's not 0.0 is because he's really linear, and he kind of hard loses to sustain. Yeah, that's it. Oh yeah, he also has access to hammer skill, which I think is like really OP because you just hammer skill the front line and they just die. And yeah, that's it.
Okay. So we think it is minimum 1.0, and personally you put it in 0.5. Anybody else would like to talk about Magnus?
Honestly, I think he should definitely be 1.0, and he would only be 2.0 if frontliners knew to block the bike, but unfortunately NA does not know how to do that, so he will always be 1.0 in NA or higher. And crit, I have seen you do some vile things to my teams with that crit Magnus of yours. That thing is so strong, man.
Yeah, I think it's OP because just kill people for free. But
yeah, I think Magnus is very similar to Abigail, where I think he has a lot more upside in solo queue. Like I said, I think his main upside is a tank that does very respectable damage, and also he has the ability to force a fight really, really well. So yeah, I think in turn I think 0.5 is coping that, but I think 1.0 makes sense. He's just really good.
Good solo queue for the solo queue warrior, not as low as some people put him down to be. So I respect it. Okay, it sounds like we got that one. We did better on time thanks to that. Next, we got Mr. Cummings on Kenneth. Although recently he's been on a few different characters, but
Yo.
yo.
Yo, I'm beefing with Nimble Neuron, man. Why did they take my silky smooth melee, kiters with nice auto attack animations and a nice clear playstyle, and they make them into these beefy loser fat dog tanks, man? Like, okay, Kenneth, I think he could even go 0.5 right now, but you have to put Ghost Sprite on him. And if you have Ghost Sprite, you have 0 attack speed. You're just playing Yuki 2.0, man. Like, I don't want to play another tank Yuki. I liked old Kenneth. It was fun. It had a lot of counterplay. But fuck, man, this shit's just boring now. Yeah, so I've been playing other stuff too. But more success on other stuff than Kenneth, especially in scrims. Yeah.
So you say he could even be 0.5, but the changes were bad.
They're unfun.
They're unfun.
So because they're unfun, I haven't played them enough. I haven't gotten a good feel for it. I think adding anti-heal to Creed gave him a lot more options to do different stuff with builds. But yeah, I'd say 1.0 or 0.5, but it doesn't matter because they broke my heart.
Okay. So Kenneth 1.0, and you have been having success on other characters. For them, you don't necessarily to go in depth on them, but do you agree with their current placement for a few of them?
Yes. I don't
ISO,
actually. Yeah, I don't actually know where
Lennox.
ISO is
But they're
because
0.5
NA
next
carries
to Rio.
are really fucking bad. Yeah. I feel like I beat every Kacha I see because they just don't know how to play AD carries. I don't know. It's fucking weird. But yeah, Lennox feels really good. I think Lennox isn't tier 0, but definitely the top of 0.5 right now.
Okay. Not bad. Anybody would like to add to the argument, whether it's for Kenneth or one of the other characters? Maybe just to say fuck you to saying that Rios and Kajas are bad, anything's fair.
Since Hoko and I both play Kenneth and Isol and a couple other things, I wanted to know what you thought about whether or not the tanky versions that Kenneth plays now are actually better than previous in like season 3. And I also want to know if you think Isol should actually be up here with Katya and Rio in 0.5, or if you think that like there actually should be a little bit of a difference there. Because like I think old Kenneth was way better, and I agree, like a lot more fun. Like being able to go like drain tank people instead of having to go this like really low damage, low attack speed kind of CC bot frontline just made more sense. And that like since there's so much damage in the game, it's really hard to like play one of those frontline melees as a DPS character. But yeah, I know it's kind of split into two questions, but I was just curious.
Yeah. I'll start with the Kenneth. I know you played the Korea AP stack build way more than I did. And I really can't like speak to that build because I don't know, I just never clicked with it a lot. I like the drain tank one a lot. But wait, sorry, what was the question part of that one again?
It was, do you think that like old Kenneth was actually better than current Ghost Bride like me, or do you think it's actually just unfun, or do you think the new one's better too?
Yeah, I think old was better. I mean, even like just stat wise, Kenneth was like definitely like top 10 in stats back then, pretty consistently as well. I think he was OP. But now he feels kind of unplayable a lot of times, especially in competitive where like people will have defense shred. If you like can't really exist in a Ghost Bride world, and that's kind of sad. I think I honestly haven't played him enough this season to know. But he does utilize Ghost Bride really well, and I know Sang Sang Woo's team did pretty good in the scrim, so I think there's definitely comps you can build around him, but definitely a lot different than before. On Isol, a lot of times I pick Isol, I don't fight Rios. I fight Pachas a lot, and I fight Ayas a lot. And I feel like if you have a good comp, Isol is really, really, really good at just blowing people up, especially if like a non-linear playstyle. If you're not trying to like front to back and you take advantages to like E shift, Q a carry, like that carry can't play a fight. If they do play the fight, then they just get nuked for like 90% of their health. So I can't speak on the Rio matchup, and I can't say I've faced Akacha good enough to know how the matchup really is, personally.
Okay. Good talk. Okay, I'm keeping everybody where they are. In terms of that, it looks like I came to the proper conclusion for that talk. We are running on the edge, so we're gonna go through a few of the last ones. We have like 5, 6 left, so that we can do our outro. But going to Mr. I guess let's go with the Sylvia duo. Let's get it out of the way. Yo, Sylvia's, come here. Where is she on the tier list? Just
Yo.
she on it?
Hello?
You want to go first?
Where'd you put her? 1.0 looks fine, right?
I put her, yeah, A. 1.0,
Yeah, okay.
whatever that is.
Yeah, or I can go. I think this is solo queue as well. I think her main upsides in solo queue, especially back then, I think she does really well at like exemplifying pop-off games. It's like a lot of the time in ranked, you'll get like, oh, you hit a double immortal player. I think she's really good at like making those games even more insane because her chase is so good. I think she thrives a little bit similar to Abigail, where like lack of calm, she does benefit a lot from a lot more easier to find angles on backliners in solo queue. Her main downsides, I would say, that keep her from being better is compared to other mages, she just does less damage, has a bit less range, and is also a little bit less consistent. And in terms of like trying to 1v3, I don't think she's nearly as good as some of the other characters, but she's definitely very good.
Issues?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same. I think she scales really well with items. So, like, she's by play style because she has bike and she can chase kills. She's good at snowballing, but also if you get ahead on tempo and you start hitting like those breakpoints where you can actually one shot or like 80% to 0 backlines, you just start taking over the game. But she has both like the LP blessing and the curse. Like the blessing is that she can always chase down kills and that she can always get away from fights. The curse is that you will send your team -50 at least like once per day because you see a 3-man knockup and you immediately die for it. So yeah, A is fine.
Also, yeah, her biggest buff in the last 2 seasons was the deletion of plat players. Oh my god. That was actually the biggest Sylvia buff I've seen. It's
We gotta flex back. It's fucking wrong. I don't even know where he is. Like, but somewhere. Anyways, anybody would like to move Sylvia from 1.0 to up or down? Nobody agrees or disagree. I think they did cover her. We did have 2 people for her, anyways.
There's some thumbs up in the chat. They said they all agree. I don't know why they don't want to come in here and speak, but Super and All Out Attack agree.
Yay! Good job, Tricky. No more need for Rep God himself to teach us about her character. But we will proceed with the next. Cairo, Mr. Professor himself. You are on my, but feel free to talk about your multiple characters. I don't know what you've been playing recently. I know it's not being Alex.
Yeah, my Alex is clean. Anyway, mine were up pretty good. I don't know if I tier 0, tier 0.5. It doesn't really matter. Either one fits. I think one thing though is like people say Mai is super duper easy to like she has a lot of strengths. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you play Mai and some games are kind of like futureless. Like Mai is really good at amplifying another teammate who's good or 2 teammates that are good, but sometimes you can't really play Mai in every comp, even though she has a lot of versatility. And I would also move Celine up to tier 0. I think that character is actually like sleeper OP, but nobody plays it. Was that 30 seconds?
Yeah, you're good. So
my character is fucking broken. 6 bans in ERM, six teams picked by the way.
Yo,
like
those
this
Mai's
character is crazy. Like,
can I just say those Mai's look like they were first timing that. Can we get a little serious?
bro, 6. No, they weren't first time because they obviously played it in scrims. Like 6.
Yeah, but they look so clueless.
6 teams played by man. 6 teams.
6 teams play Mai. Yes.
And
Mai.
And
Okay.
yeah, you could say Mai is really versatile, but she can like solo backliners like really easily with Quake and Blazing Dress. I think she's like, I don't think there's any argument that she is not tier 0.
I agree, but here's the thing. Like, it's so hard to say, but Mai's really good in a coordinated environment because of all of her abilities being so good when you're all together as a team. We're not talking about competitive. We're talking about solo queue. I roll Cement Eater when I'm playing Mai, and he plays Jackie, right? Or Metalhead? What? Oh.
Yeah, so like that's the argument, right? It's like which
Yeah.
solo
Which is
queue
why
environment are we?
0.5. But like I'm down for tier 0 because she is just that strong. Like she has
Yeah,
that
but-
much potential.
Yeah. So you're saying solo queue, but like which solo queue environment are we talking about? Are we talking about like in
Ours.
Immortal queue?
Ours.
Because or yeah,
Yeah,
but like
Immortal.
if you're queuing Mai as a diamond player, I think she's still like really OP if you get two like good teammates, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, so tier 0,
yeah,
tier
so we can't
0.5.
be biased that because
Oh,
I can't carry like I can't carry these bad players as a tank. But if a diamond player plays a tank and they roll two immortal players, right? Then it's obviously
Then the
like,
opposite
really
should be true. If you play Mai as a bronze player and you're using your skills on silver or gold players, you should climb really easily too then.
Diamond, you can climb with literally any character. This is like totally should be based on like actually
Well, I
immortal
think-
queue,
yeah.
not diamond queue. What are you guys talking about? Well, I think it's fine.
Also, this is something that will never like come up for anyone else in the game. Sometimes your teammates build the chess piece before you can even get a word in to say.
No,
you
yeah,
can get
that
a
happens. Like I played my
Like
before.
that
it
is
happens,
the
it
most
happens.
tilting thing, and you immediately stop playing that character for the rest of the night.
Bro, I'm pretty sure even like One Circle like accidentally built like a chess piece one time because I saw him have a Mai and he didn't build like the Mai chess. So I mean it happens, but like we cannot
Okay.
argue that this Mai character is any weaker than 0.0. Like this character is just broken.
Okay, what I want to talk about is how ridiculously strong Ao Dai is compared to Couturier, or like Mythcrop.
Mid-crop
feel
is
like-
really good. It's a character
Mid-crop's
defense,
really
but
good,
I
yeah.
do think our courtier now with the nerfs like that shit is kind of hot
I
garbage.
think Ao Dai is possibly the best item in the game, and I think that Couturier is basically eh. I really liked when it gave CDR because it actually gave you an incentive to be able to build a maximum build and be able to fit in debilitation or something like Black Death into your build.
Yeah, I mean, Ao Dai is really good. Don't get me wrong, but like the strength of ADC builds are that they're cheap. There are very few ADC builds because like now they're running Radar, right? And Radar is a 4-score. Then you run Ao Dai, that's another 4-score. That's 700 credits, and then plus 200 for every other piece. That's straight up just a late game build. So when we're talking about this, yeah, it's gonna look strong.
Yeah, but
And
we're
I could-
comparing AODI versus like Omerta versus
But Ao Dai's just a better Omerta.
holy
so
orders
comparison.
versus courtier. Bro, AODI gives 20% like attack speed. That shit's
I
OP
know,
on ADCs.
but like, why are we even considering Omerta? Because Omerta should never be considered if you have Mai. Like, what?
Well, that's the comparison. It's okay,
I'm
so we
just
can
saying-
compare Garment.
I'm just saying
Okay,
it sucks when
okay.
your teammate, like builds it tilts you, right?
Okay. We can just compare Garment then. Garment versus AODI, and AODI has about like 30 or so more AP, I think, than Garment.
I have a better idea. We don't compare items because we agreed she's T0.
Yeah, can we just say
Items are
that like
good.
we've been talking about how ADCs are so strong in the meta right now, and Mai is not only like enabling them to be better, she's also like the main force to be disabling them. So I think putting her high is definitely very warranted.
Funny character makes your hits do 0 damage on one ability. That could be pressed multiple times. Yippee. Anyways,
My character solos my backline while I go at her
Also,
and
can
do
we-
1 damage on all my abilities.
Can we move Alonso up as well since Garo's here? Because I think Alonso is like.
Can
is
I
like-
add something since I want to make
Can
my
we move up all
Move
tanks
all my
one tier
characters up a tier.
because tanks are OP in general?
I just think
Okay.
Alonso is like the
Okay.
tankiest tank just because of his 90% DR. Like he will outlive any other tank. So if you're playing straight front to back, then he'll always just outlive anyone else.
I'm surprised he was 1.0. Like people were putting him. If that was the case, people were putting him 0.5. People were putting him 2.0. I would like to hear why people put him in 2.0.
it might have been not 2.0. It might have just been rounded down. If enough people put in 1.0.
Then
Or
Yeah,
rounded
it's
up,
like
I
a
guess.
Stell too. Why is Estelle in 1.0? I was just seeing, like, I couldn't find her, and then I finally found her in the mix. It's like,
I think
Estelle in
Estelle was a little bit weird right now. I think
Oh.
she's okay though.
For Alonso, I put him lower because like in solo queue, if you get caught out as Alonso, it's very hard to run away, and I feel like
Okay,
it's just
but-
like
Okay, that's most
pretty
of the
difficult for him to
time,
climb.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
that
like, yeah, that's the only reason I put him in 1.0 and not 0.5.
That's fair. That's fair.
But like that's kind of weird because Theodore is tier 0 and he has 0 mobility.
I don't know. His passive is a bit better than Alonso's running. Like, let's be real there.
Yeah. But like when you pick Alonso, you pick Alonso to win 3v3s. You don't play Alonso to like deal with the 3Ps as much, right? Like you're picking him because he has the single most powerful ability to gate double DPS comps. Like Mai can do a bunch of things to be more flexible, but Alonso can buy the most time in a 3v3 versus 2 major carry DPS threats. Whereas like most other ones will just like even 11 and like Estelle and all this stuff. If there's 2, like let's say you have Rio and Katya on the same team with a front line or something like that, there's not a single tank in the game that can hold the line and buy you time as much as Alonso. So even if it's like Rio, Katya, Mai versus like Isol, another DPS, and Alonso, the 2 DPS with Alonso will out DPS in the tank v tank like war, like for the front to back, before the Alonso can die. And that's what I think, like, it's so incredibly unique and powerful to him because it's damage reduction, not actually like armor or defense, sorry, that like, I think he can't be any lower than 0.5 because sure, he has glaring weaknesses, but his strengths are so perfect for current like environment that like this, like, I just can't see him being in 1.0. That's all.
Yeah, he also just has so much sustain with his passive and his ult as well, right? So he just outlives like anyone. The only downside to Alonso is obviously his E, right? His E is it's really easy to kind of dodge out on and to cancel it, like at high level play. But I think the strengths outweigh the weaknesses. So
Alonso up.
Yeah, to 0.5. Some, to speak on Alonso weakness, because I play him so much, some comps do feel kind of hard to approach as Alonso. Like Emma the hardest counter in the game. But like if I'm playing Alonso, and I'm sure there are some other Alonso players that are in ERCS and they're not here right now, but I'm sure that there are some of these mages, like I do not feel comfortable pointing into a team that has Celine or pointing into a team that has Tia. Even just holding up my W doesn't feel good because you're kind of a big target. You get silenced, or it's Celine. She 4 bombs your whole team. What is that damage reduction going to do if, at the end of the day, you are a huge like avenue of success for your teammates and not to solo carry the fight? And also, there are some really annoying matchups that Alonso has to go through. But when you have a teammate like Adela or like Celine or like Theodore who can just rip a gigantic ult off of one ability. Like, we won because we played Bernice Aya, and whoever got locked down gets instantly killed. Like, that was not very fun for anyone on the other end. But I'm sure we've done that to Alonso players, too.
Okay. This is all very true. We're getting a lot of insight into a lot of our tanks. A lot of our supports are very, like, interesting, where that we have, like, a lot of extra info, because, of course, everybody has their own view with how they play, especially with different comps. So it's always nice. But with that being said, I think I'm going to put it on 0.5, and we're going to move on to the next character, because we are overdue. And that would be Chris, an Athapon. Be where we want to say, because there was another Athapon player who was yapping not too long ago. But
Okay, so I think I'm pretty sure he's in 1.0. I think that's a pretty fair rating for Nath. He's been getting a bit stronger. He's gotten buffed like 3 patches in a row. The heat buffing is auto damage, which is one of his weaknesses. That his damage is pretty inconsistent, but the more they buff his passive damage, the more his autos do, and his damage becomes a bit more consistent. I think his biggest weaknesses are that, like, he has no mobility, which is the big one. He has to take Blink, which is his only escape tool, and he really needs his teammates to play around him and pretty much like know what his kit does. And people are just bad at timing like skills out of Natholt. Like, even like players in here, I won't say names other than Galazor, but people have like missed like abilities out of Natholt, and this is like fight can just be lost off of that. We're just missing key abilities going into the fight. But other than that, like he can pretty much just instantly win fights by catching someone, and his ult is like one of the best setup tools in the game for any team fights. He's pretty good.
okay, are you okay with his current placement, or are you?
Yeah, I think 1.0 is fine. It's a pretty fair placement.
You are a dipshit. The character's fucking broken. You play a character
Gala,
play a
we don't have to
character
talk about the last time you died to me. It was on
plays
stream.
that
everybody
plays
saw
from
it.
off screen. This character's whole purpose is to be a cheesing vision cheese bastard champion.
You tried
no family character.
Okay, you tried to open a box in front of me knowing I was there and instantly died for
I
it.
saw you miss 3 E's with me standing still, and I felt so bad. I tried to ego open a box in front of you and see what happens. Like you're the worst to
but
ever do
regardless,
it, man.
Your character is just good in Tanath. I don't know why you're even complaining.
Cause I always
character...
disagree with whatever you say. Where did we put him?
I don't know. It's okay.
Where is
Gala is
he?
just a bastard. It's not that big of a deal.
Where did we put this character?
He's in 1.0, right next to Abby.
1.0.
Actually, just kidding.
Yeah,
Abby's in
next to
0.5. Just kidding. Nath is weak.
How are we putting both those characters in the same tier list?
They are right next to each other, actually.
I have a tip for Galazor about landing your abilities on time. After a certain patch recently, like season 4.0, you can actually it'll on Naspon stasis timer. There'll be a little white line that ticks down slowly above their name. You can time it perfectly with that.
Is that real?
Yes, that's real.
Yeah, I think.
Also, I do
We'll go
think
for
that
Gala.
Nathapon is definitely on the in a solo queue environment. I think Nathapon is definitely up on the upper end of 1.0. They have buffed him a lot, and it's sort of like the Tia thing, where if you get your pick and you land the thing, you basically, just win. You get free kills. They just feed himself.
The issue is that Nath just kind of gets run over by dive. Like he has no ability. He only has blink. If he gets dived, then he'll usually just die. He's really good at taking advantage fights where he's the one initiating. But anyways, that's besides the point. Gala, we don't have to talk. The last time I played with you, which was probably like 2 seasons ago, because you always dodge me. I end you half the time. But anyways, the last time we actually tried to win a game, I had a 3-man Nathor. You missed the 3-man Abbey ult coming out of it. Like we need to be a little serious.
The timing, it's hard timing, man.
Like you are just gapped. I don't know. You might just be the worst Abigail player in the region.
Attention!
We got backup.
Oh, it's time. You ready, Gala? We got a fraud coming in. We got.
They're holding me back. There's no way you're letting Wokes in here. He's going to say a slur. Do not let this guy in here.
We're unleashing the 18-year-old.
Oh, is my good friend Wokey's coming? My teammate.
Do not let him in there.
Hello.
No.
No, you cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. You think this character is 1.0? You cannot be serious. You think this character is actually good, by the way, Galton. Are you actually serious right now, man? You think your character is are you please, bro? This character is not that good. Bro.
Yo, Wokes. We just talked about with G-Ram. We talked about watching Seaver's game. We talked about the most important thing in solo Vision Cheese and tell me the best Vision Cheese character in the entire game. Also, one of the few mages in this entire game that can actually engage. Tell me how many mages in this game have fucking a way to force the fight. Not many. Just Nathmon. And also, we literally just talked about. We look at Super Stream. One of Rio's weaknesses is actually we can't play out of vision that well because it's such a strong thing to try to push ranked, especially with 2 bad players. And for some reason, Nathmon's the best player at it in the entire game. What are we talking about?
Okay. I just want to say, I'm not gonna say that Apple's bad at it. Nath is very good at vision cheesing. He's extremely good at it. But sometimes
he's the best character at vision cheesing, man.
But
He's not the best character for vision cheesing, man.
You have characters like Adela. Hello.
You have cameras.
Adela's in tier 2.0.
You cannot tell me that one is the best cheeser when half the roster has a CC immune that can block his E or dash away from E. You cannot be
serious. You dipshit.
You can just hold the pull, man. And
I'm just saying, sometimes
and then you
Nath
pull
engages,
again.
and he just instantly dies when he engages. He needs his teammates to play up and protect him. But sometimes Nath engages, your teammates are just AFK and he's instantly dies.
If that's the case, then why Kaya not fucking
that's
half the fucking backliners in the game.
Okay, no, but Kaya is not the one initiating fights. Nath
you're
usually has to initiate fights on his
engaging
team.
from an unsafe range.
Oh, you can hit from across the fucking zone, man, with your E. Be for real. Oh, the characters
with Biotic Infusion has a 1.05 ratio on his auto attack. That's literally higher than most ultimates in the game.
Attention! Nathapon is staying where it is, but since Wilkes is here, Isayun did ask me for you to do Shuichi.
Okay.
Yo.
Okay. This. Do we need to talk about this Suichi character? Like this character is 90 out of 98 in like the stats. If you look on the like the DAC website, it's 90 out of 98. He's the worst character in the game right now, man. Like he. Okay.
Yeah.
No, you do your little V-shaped WWW. It does no damage because they nerf his ratios. He is just useless. He is so bad. Like just play Abigail. I don't know why you not play this Abigail.
I would
Abigail's
also
character,
like
10
to
times
add on
better.
that.
Alright, I'm sorry.
Luminal-
Once Luminal gets off the character, like this character's dead.
Yeah.
Like Luminal is playing Theodore too,
Like,
man. Like he didn't even make it on group
Well,
stage.
everyone's
It's too
playing
much Shuichi.
Theodore, man. Theodore's
Dude, like,
fucking
No,
broken.
like you have the best, like the Shuichi player. You have the Shuichi player swapping off fucking like Shuichi, and like I don't know, bro. This character is absolute dog shit. Like the worst character in the game. 4.0. He's
Make it
so
look
bad.
worse. It's actually crazy though. You make,
He is.
He's actually
you make
so
him
bad.
like,
No, I
tier,
gotta
like
agree.
you make him like tier 4.
Okay, no, it's not that bad, man. It's not that bad.
Okay.
No,
Thank
he's
you.
terrible. He's really
Thank
bad.
you, Wokes. Appreciate you. With that being said, we're moving on to Piebot for Camilo. But that's great. Good discussion, guys. There he goes. The multiverse leaves. It was great having him.
Camilo is firmly a 1.0 character. You guys are coping, putting him in 0.5. My character is being attacked by the Shadow Cabal, placing him higher than he should be. I built 2 tank items, the most I'm allowed, because my character needs to build a crit to do damage, or he's just useless. Then Kadia Q auto attacks me, and I'm half HP. How can I even play, man? Like, these ADC characters. The best part of my kit, it's Q3. 90% of the time, you can just walk out of it. And Nimblelearn added an indicator to Q stacks, and people still get hit this season. You guys are just full of Camilo haters. Camilo 0.5 is just pure cope.
Okay, 30 seconds. So is he going down, guys, or are we keeping him up there?
Bruh, okay. I just want to say, I'm playing versus Divigen every single day of my life. I haven't even seen this guy press his ultimate in like 3 weeks because he doesn't need to. He's running everyone down like dogs, yeah? I combo him 3 times with Sylvia in the mid game, and he is at 60% life, maybe. He Q3s my guys once, and they're passing away. Like, this character cannot be a 1.0 character. You can't tell me this character is the same as Sylvia. There's no way. There's just no way, man. Meowie, it took God's will for Meowie to not 1v3 an entire lobby 30 kills with me and my teammate hard inting him the entire game. Like, there's no way.
Just like the one scrims where No Flame faced against Meowie, and they instantly killed the Charlotte under team, and they still lost. Like, I'm watching Meowie chase the bike Sylvia pistol skill.
Camilo is just better Sua bad. Like, come on. Like we
Like,
need to be serious.
this character cannot be real.
This Jesus character is infinite chase, infinite damage, infinite healing. Like, I think you have to be a dipshit to not perform on this character.
Get out of my
D again! D skill!
I can't
W
see
again!
anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. You think
How
Camilo is
the hell
1.0? I
did
think
you
you gotta
create
be
this
more depth
character?
than Galazar.
And you'd have to
There's
be
actually
pretty
zero counterplay. And dear God, if I have a teammate, they don't even have to dash to me.
He's like one of the few stat sticky kind of characters that like can actually get on people and kill them very fast. Like Jackie's supposed to kill people really fast, for example, but we all put her in 3.0 because she's worthless. Camilo literally has like 4 times her dashes and tankiness, and we're not putting him in 0.5. Like, this character gets one Charlotte or one Lenny, and it becomes the most stressful situation of our lives.
becomes unkillable.
Yes.
Yeah. And then I don't get a Charlotte or Lenny, and I instantly die.
But you're still unkillable. I think it's just you, Bob. Bob, every other Camilo is thriving. It's
Aren't
just
there
you.
like 50 Camillos in like the top 10?
Look at the average damage of Camilo. Dude, he's a melee character. He's averaging 18k, man. How's that even fair?
Okay, it sounds like we're keeping Camilo where he is, from the sounds of it, which I'm okay with. Character moves around too much, even though my character kind of cooks it, but we don't talk about that. Anyways, moving on, we got Irem with Ala Attack, aka Trorby.
Hello.
Yo.
Okay, so for Irem, sometimes I feel like she's 0.5, and other times I feel like she's 2.0. The issue that she has is that this environment is a big polarizing environment right now for in terms of like what you need to be a good character. You either need to do an absurd amount of damage or be absurdly tanky. Irem does neither. She's somewhat able to play frontline a little bit and like disruption and tank some stuff, and she's somewhat able to deal damage. She kind of fills a role similar to Sylvia, where she has good chase. She's got 2 forms. She's got the ability to kind of adapt and play a different play style. But unlike Sylvia, she doesn't have the anti-poke options of healing, so she has a lot more responsibility when it comes forward. I think the Strider build has more of a merit, but there's also a tank option as well. So like what I like about her is she's super flexible and has the options, but sometimes based on the comp, you will feel useless and other times you'll feel excellent. So I think like 1.0 is fine.
Okay.
Sorry, I saw the timer on Twitch, so I stopped.
No, you're fine. No, you are doing what you're supposed to, like a lot of people here. But anybody would like to defend, agree opinions, and I don't even see Irem in the tier list. I'm not gonna lie, I can't find her. Like my brain.
Well, one other thing, she has a really high top 3 almost all the time because she's super mobile and able to get out. So that is something I do need to say. Like she has an option to get you near final zone or at least as close as physically possible because she's so good at just leaving a fight. And so while she doesn't have the option to always like straight up win the 3v3 for your team sometimes because she can't really duel a lot of the characters in the like roster, especially the bruisers, she can get away from them. So that is something that needs to be considered too.
Yo, I swear this character is broken. We are not putting her in 1.0. This needs to be 0.5 now. There's a reason why ERM is playing Irem every single match. This character can do it all. She has such good poke, very reliable, and she's hard to kill. As a like this weird backline plus melee engaging mage that has good CC as well. Throw skill to counter a lot of like throw skill like kills some of these characters on the list. Like Abigail, I don't see how Galzer is supposed to beat a good IRM player anytime if they know what they're doing.
You have a point about throw skill. It's actually really crazy. But like when they're being played in ERM, I've been watching too, and like most of the time it's really not that impressive, or they're doing some weird shit like Diamond Shard, Ghost Bride, Irem, and then utilizing mostly just throw skill plus the 2 hard CCs, which I think is cool. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool. But we're talking about solo queue, and in solo queue, going Ghost Bride, D Shard is most of the time just going to mean like unless you have a really slick DPS on your team or something, like she doesn't have the ability to kill carries because she needs to kill people in 2 rotations, right? She doesn't have a 100 to 0 combo, and she doesn't even have like a 70 to 0 combo unless you invest Strider, which is also means that it's harder for you to get out of fights. And so the issue with Irem is that like if you can build her all sorts of different ways and they're all really cool, but she doesn't have the 1v9 potential needed to solo carry team fights a lot of the time. She can do all sorts of really cool things, but you need someone else. And because of that, like I can't see her being in like the 0.5 where a lot of these characters can just by themselves swing the tide so much that you can like have the agency to win the fights every time or most of the time.
I mean, I get what you mean by saying that it's a lot of little things leading up to a big win, or like that's how you win the fight. But some of these other characters in 1.0 are exactly the same, and even in 0.5, like I do agree that if your competition is 3 really high damage ADCs that are in the top, like Heart, Rio, Kacha, I can see where you're coming from, but there's no way we can say a character with this much potential not being played to her ultimate, even by the best players, is 1.0. We're talking about character strength, and if we're talking about a character with really massive upsides and not many downsides, Irem should be 0.5.
I don't know. I feel like it's a huge downside to not do enough damage that you need 2 rotations in this one, because that means you have to outplay the person twice. Like let's say there's like a Hyejin or a Rio or something, and I manage to like smoke bot, like D-skill into knock up into combo. She's half HP now, and I have to wait for my cooldowns, and I'm right in front of her.
Okay.
If I want to do it again, I have to re-catch her out or invest flash or something like that. Like it's really hard to like say that a character that needs 2 rotations and 2 separate outplays to beat one person once can be like consistently in top 0.5.
Attention. Okay, it sounds for me that we're having a lot of debate when it comes to the tierings, when it comes to, you know, some people more like the individual character thing, and like, yeah, everyone can do a lot of things, especially in like a 1v1 scenario, a lot of times she can do really crazy things. Sometimes she can do things into rotation someone and they can't really do much because she has so many options. But, you know, it is a team environment. Some comps will benefit her more. There'll be some times where she doesn't need 2 rotations, right? She will have to go in and she'll have to follow up from her team and get, like, go do crazies. The argument on some of the highest tiers is that maybe one of those characters are more independent. They don't really rely on their team, which is definitely valid for a solo queue perspective, which it is this tier list to a certain degree. So I can respect that. I think all those arguments are valid, and I think we're having a very like small just like skew between that solo queue aspect versus how many things she can do and what she provides for a team. So I'm gonna place her right here next to Abigail and Athapon, some of the higher elo, the ones we talked about in 1.0, and we're gonna set her there for now because I think that's fair, and move onwards because we do have one more thing at the end and we're running out of time. Once again, for those that have not seen, that are in the table, that have not seen the announcement channel, there's a code for you guys. Go there, do that for me, and read what it says. We're going quick on the last few, which realistically, last few just means Hijin, which is for effects of take us.
I think Kajin's like a mid 1.0 dispatch. I don't think he does crazy damage. There's some characters like that's unkillable for her, like Charlotte, like Lenny comps, or even like Alonzo or Marcus. I could be landing every single ability. I still wouldn't make a dent. Actually, they would be healing Lenny actually. But she has great self peel. She has great snowball. If you're in a position to snowball and you're up items by like day 3, she can easily make the enemy not play the game. After one fear, you're probably gonna be dead. This character either does like nothing in a fight where you're just fearing the front line and doing like maybe 30% of your HP. Like I have trouble proccing Ghostlight sometimes, so or this character could be like doing everything in this fight. You're like fearing all 3 members and you're having like maximum impact. So I think mid 1.0 is fine.
Okay,
I also like to talk about Adina. Yeah.
Adina, yeah. If anybody has anything to say about Hijin, good now. Otherwise, we will continue with Adina. I think
I just want to agree. I mean, I talked about it earlier. I think characters like Tia and Adina, and even like Adela being on the roster just makes Hejin look a little bit weaker. It's really hard for Hejin to be able to get catches, unlike those characters, because they have a way better time at just like catching someone on a primary ability, where Hejin has to do it off her ult. And once her ult's over, then it's really hard for her to continue a fight.
okay. We shall proceed with Adina. Go,
I
go,
think
go.
Adina is like in NA, Adina is worthless. Like this character gets off 1 rotation max and then your team dies. But in probably like in Korea where like people play neutral better, or in like a competitive environment where Adina can get off like more than 1 rotation, like she's probably like a top of 1.0. But in any solo queue where everyone just falls over before I get 1 rotation off, or when I get my 1 rotation, I do like 60% of their HP and I have to wait for my 2nd rotation, and then my team dies in between, or like the enemy like just like this character just doesn't do anything because of her passive. She needs to wait like 3 seconds between rotations. I think she's kind of worthless.
Okay. Any arguments for Adina?
I pulled her in, but I didn't know if you wanted to say something for Hejin or Adina.
I thought I would just join my mage brother. So hi, it's me again. I think that Adina and Hyejin are both good, but if there's any time after, I think that there is words to say about an egregious placement in 0.5, because I do not think that Hayes deserves her place there anymore.
Got it. Where the Wisu? Yo, where's Birdie's going?
Yeah, like this character is so shit, right? Now, like realistically, I think he's like one of the weaker ADCs. Like you only want him really for like a setup with the ultimate and the W, or like a final zone. There's like way better ADCs with like range. Bernice has like probably like the lowest range as an ADC. he has no mobility, so any kind of danger, like he's just gonna get jumped and he's gonna die. His only stealth pill is like pre-setup Ws or like ultimate W, but I don't think like that's as good as hers. Example, like Rio and Kaja has range and damage. William has probably like the highest DPS from a carry if he's set up with the Q.
Time is
A
up.
lot of characters have better dash and stuff. Yeah, that's
Time.
about it.
Yeah, time is up. I didn't understand a thing you said. I'm not gonna lie. I'm South American, and even I can't understand what the fuck you're saying.
You are.
Okay, I agree. I think Bernice is pretty bad, but like we cannot be putting Hayes lower than. I would even say 0.5 because I think Hayes is still like she has so much range, she does so much damage, and she just has the safety of bursting her down as well. Like we cannot be dropping this character down that much. Like at max maybe 1.0, like there could be an argument, but like she's still one of the best mages in the game, I would say.
I think that you guys are so biased from when she was good at the end of last season 3 and early of season 4 that you guys do not know how
Oh, they
weak
still
this
play her
character
in
has
ERM.
gotten.
They still play her in ERM.
Not very frequently. Not as frequently as the dominant as she was last season. I think that in competitive, she might be a 0.5, but in ranked, she has some of the worst stats possible.
I guess that's
Overall,
fair, but like I
One
don't
Circle
know.
in the past like 3 weeks has lost like 400 RP on Hayes. The second highest Hayes profile picture is negative 300 on Hayes. This character is not good in a solo queue environment. You have no way to possibly turn a fight in your favor because you have no idea if your team is going to be able to follow up on your damage. And if there's a Charlotte in the lobby, you literally don't get to play.
Have they nerfed her at all? Have they touched her?
They have
Like
nerfed her
in
items,
patches?
her amp ratio, not her amp ratios, but her. She is significantly down. She's down 0.5% on her weapon mastery scaling. And metagame just is not very favorable for her when these invincible bruisers are walking around one-shotting everyone.
Yeah, but I think her strength is that she has like a lot of poke with the rockets if you are able to land them. But I mean, there can be an argument that she's down to 1.0, but I don't think she's any lower than that.
Yeah, I think she's fine at 1.0. I mean, I like just speaking on like NA, like I'm sorry, Reed, but there are many times where I feel like I can just flash on you and ult you and you're just like dead. And there's really nothing you can do. Like, yeah, Hayes has a lot of mobility, but I feel like they don't get it off fast enough ever to actually be able to do anything. Like it's almost like the Rio Kacha thing, like just walk at her and she'll probably just die.
Just walk it. Trust me, bro. You wish your character be bad in solo queue and good in competitive. I promise you, man. You don't want it the other way around. You understand me?
Also, like, can we move Sua down? Like, no one disagreed with me.
Ah, I disagree.
literally, no one
No, we're
disagreed.
talking about
I
solo queue.
disagree.
Your character is
I
actually
disagree.
Thanos versus mine.
I disagree. You know when you said Sua, Camilla's just better Sua? Bro, like, tell that to my character.
Also, more in my defense about Hayes being lower. We cannot seriously be putting Hayes, after all that has happened, we cannot be putting her lower than Estelle, higher than Debby Marlene, Cicella, Estelle,
there's no
Viola,
left and right.
Isaac,
Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa,
it's not
whoa,
order.
whoa,
It's not
whoa,
Eshion.
whoa.
There's no
What
left
did
and
you
right.
say about Fiora, man?
Well, no, I meant in the idea of putting her in 0.5. We cannot be putting her higher than those characters.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Are you trying to argue that Fiora is good right now?
I didn't say Fiora.
Yes, you did.
We
I said Debby
are
Marlene, Cicella.
over time.
Alright,
if we want to make sure we don't go the full extra
You're
hour,
lucky.
we shall call it now. This is technically a finalist tier list. Usually, I would tell you guys, let's go over a few of the like things that the characters we don't have representatives for. But unfortunately, we've been yapping too much, so we're not gonna be doing that. And I'm just gonna have to beg of you guys that look at this tier list and do with it what you must. I would particularly pay attention to the characters that we covered today. The ones that we didn't, you could take them with, they might be higher, upper, they might got an average out. And, as always, tier lists are subject to change to future patches. So, it is what it is. But with that being said, we do have one final event, which will not be Q&A. In fact, we will be doing a showcase match with the Roundtable players. One singular match to showcase what the best of the rank ladder can show us. We're gonna have Uzma and Lucy if she wants to help us cast the match with our great players here. We are a few players short because some people did have to go. It is a Tuesday, a weekday, so some people did have to go. So any of the high elo players that I know are in chat would like to join the lobby, we could have a very high quality lobby waiting for us, and there will be a prize to the winner, which will be $25 to each player on the winning team. We will be using the custom match sorting function or whatever. But yeah, for those, yep,
Are you playing?
I'm spectating. I'm
Okay.
doing camera. But yeah. So, yeah, if you're a high elo player and you're in the chat, feel free to send me a DM and I will reply with the code so we can fill up the lobby. We are missing quite a few slots. If you're in this call, in the stage, get in the lobby now. What's high elo? Like, I don't know. If you're close to the ERCS cutoff, 74. What's her lowest here? Who's her biggest fraud? Let me check.
Me. I'm the biggest fraud.
You're casting. You don't count.
I spoke though. You can use me as a benchmark. I'm D1.
You know,
Do you
after hearing
want-
all the conversation today, I think Galazor's the biggest fraud. This guy is just yapping all day. Hello?
Real. Okay. I am sending everyone their code for the people that wanted to play. I do have the M's, it looks like. If honestly, if you are in Mithril, I will take you, honestly. But ideally, above 7,000. If you're above 7,000, you are my prime. You're welcome here.
Yo, are we still gonna do any more adjustments to the tier list, or is that it? Because I think there's
If you
still
have-
some characters that weren't talked about yet.
If you have someone that's like burning inside you for you to move them, you can speak
Yes,
now.
I think Lenny, this character, is better or as good as Charlotte.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
think Lenny
people
is
don't
really
play her
well.
as well, and Tazi as well. I think no one knows how to play this character correctly, which is why her rating is so low.
Oh, I think Estelle should be 0.5. I don't know. This character is kind of good this patch. Maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. This character kind of does everything.
So we have Lenny, right? Go up.
Lenny is probably as good as Charlotte if piloted correctly.
What the
And
fuck is this Lenny?
Tazia, we could put at 1.0. I don't think she's that bad. I think this character is just really, really hard
Lenny's
to
in
play. No
tier
one can
2.
play her on NA.
Wait, Lenny's in tier 2?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
she's a
yeah.
1.6 average.
This Eshion character, please.
I had not seen
He's
that.
so bullshit. Please, he
Echion
needs to
too.
go.
Echion was
I'm down
4
for
out of
Echion.
8 in
He needs
ERM.
to be 0,
Yeah.
man. This character
I
does
think
everything.
I think Echion might be 0. I'm gonna
He's
be honest.
insane,
Yeah,
and
Echion's
he's
kinda
insane
strong.
in solos. He's insane in the
Yeah,
competitive
at the
ERM.
very least 0.5, but I mean, there
I
can be
think
arguments for
several of us
as well.
are
His
biased
character dives to
we're
backliners, doesn't take
range
any
mainers,
damage, kills
but
one and leaves.
playing against Eshion as a backliner is actually pain. You actually just forfeit your life.
Okay, we are, 3 players short. If you're in the actual round table and you have not joined, I'm going to be very angry.
Also, wasn't Felix picked in ERM like pretty well?
Yeah, but he got nerfed like really hard, so
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why
he did
he's
get
like
nerfed.
not good anymore. Like he lost a lot of his CC. Like all the Felix players aren't playing him, I think. But Tazia would move up to 1.0. And
Azia
then,
had
yeah.
8 people that had no idea what to vote her, and she averaged really low, like below 2.
Yeah, I think people just can't play this character, man. And people are really biased because of their experiences in ranked. But I think Tazi is good. It's just she's just probably the hardest character in the game to play.
Okay, it looks like our lobby failed. Yo, get in there mid power. I don't know. Okay. I'm gonna show the lobby now. For the people that are here in this call, I actually need to. I need to move to a separate call for my casters. If you guys want, you can do no comms at all. Otherwise, you can all be on the stage together as a group. I'm sure you having open comms will be great for you guys. I'm sure you guys won't do anything silly with it.
Yeah, Lucy, that was messed up.
But I do
Sorry.
need to actually wait. Can I share my screen here? Oh wait, they changed that. I can do it now.
I mean, I can move them all into. Can they just move into the general below
Yeah,
us?
actually, you guys all go down to general. You guys can be over there.
Yeah.
You can definitely, if you don't want to have any comms and play like a real rank game, you can use in-game chat if you want. You can have all open comms. Just don't be too silly. Only the winner gets anything. So, be for real, okay? Outside of that, I'm gonna be swapping now to game screen, which we see our lobby. We're about to reveal our teams. I will only shuffle up to one more time if people really want me to, but otherwise, I'm just gonna hit this balance button and we'll see what happens. Boom. Reg player info. This is their teams. If I'm sure everybody is very happy with what they got. I'm sure we got great people here. Some of these teams are kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie.
We have our IO players arguing already. That's crazy.
Honestly, we talked about dodging, guys, and we don't dodge here. We are ethical ranked players, and so too many people are saying please reshuffle. Who is it? It's Boba Boy and wait, Boba
Boba and Rimran
on the same team. 75, 81. Fuck it. That has to be balanced. Fuck it. Let's just split the Aya players. Does that work? Are we happy now? What is Wisu complaining for fun? Alright, Wisu wants to complain for fun. Anyways, fuck it. We go in. Our casters are gonna take it from here, so do enjoy. I'm gonna be doing camo work and getting some water because I had not been hydrating this whole time. So, good luck, have fun. Hopefully, we get a great showcase from our best in the region.
Are you gonna be showing your screen in Discord, Passant?
It's already in
I
here.
am.
Oh, okay, cool. Check. Just check it. What's up, everybody? All right, name your favorite Coper from tonight. Okay, if I had a nickel for every time someone said my character does 60% of someone's damage, but like I'd have like 100 nickels. Like, be for real, guys. Okay, come on.
Yeah, that's a little true. It was definitely interesting. Unfortunately, we ran out of time, so we didn't get to catch everyone, and everyone's takes. We didn't even get to, some of the characters that I played, so you guys all suck. I didn't get to talk about I didn't get to do, like, my best Galazar impression, actually. That was gonna be, like, my thing. I was ready to bust through, be like, Passat, wait, you gotta hold for a second. And I was just gonna, like, put, like, Galazar's speech for Abigail as Fiora and be like, gosh, that was, like, a replay of last Roundtable, but...
Wait, is Galazar not in here?
In the game?
Yeah.
He should be.
Yo,
Did he
where
not
is
make it
this
in?
Galazar guy? Is he a fraud?
So...
Like, this guy... Okay.
He sucks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, if this guy, like, if we see him on screen killing a single person, like, he is the biggest fraud of all time. But, like, he's too big of a coward to even show himself. We get it. Okay, Galazar, we get it. You know the best part, Lucy?
What?
We get to unfiltered cast, you know?
Yeah. I was all excited. To, like, say things, but, like, I can't.
Huh? What do you mean? Oh, you mean, like, about your characters and stuff?
Oh, no. Like, for the cast, I was excited to be able to, like, say whatever I wanted, but, like, I could keep it PG.
Oh, yeah, no, like, we're gonna be good, but, like, we can take it chill, we can make fun of people. Like, I'm gonna watch Superior and miss, like, an E. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it'll be, interesting, to say the least. It's okay, I'm working on the side here, because, like, some people that joined late to this, like, Rim, can't, VC with his homies.
Okay, I gotcha.
But I think I got him. Yeah. So you can actually speak to everyone. So, all right, here we go. We are now in here. We are ready to go. Is there anyone that you're excited to see in this group?
I mean, Chorby's talking about this ISO character. He's playing it on T8. This character got rated, what, 0.5? I don't know. This character might be the weakest of all time. I mean, according to Galazor, I can kill my enemies, but if anyone hits me, lo and behold, if someone targets me, I'm so weak. Like, this character's got to be 2.0 under those circumstances, okay? Galazor logic, 2.0. Normal people logic, 0.5. I'll take it.
I'm just saying, we all were talking about Mai and how she should be tier 0, and we actually have 3 in the lobby. So, I mean, if we're like talking about it in a competitive sense, she'd be banned right now. And yeah, strong character. So yeah, good looks. Supporting the tier list. I am all very proud of you guys. Good looks.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see what some of these teams are. I didn't look at all the different names, but like it's a little bit of bragging rights here, you know. But also, if you win with your character, like it's actually inverse bragging rights because you were like giga coping downplaying your character, and if you win, like I think everything you say is null and void, you know.
You know, that's kind of a good point. It almost makes you like not want to win. Like, is the $25 actually worth it?
Yeah, okay,
No,
okay.
that should have been like a surprise prize. Like, oh no, you won the scrim. I guess that means that you have to move your character up on the tier list. Yeah, sorry, you're actually tier 0 now.
I was just gonna say any character that wins this game moves up a tier automatically. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. You know, it's a rule. I'm deciding.
I'm deciding now. I brought it here. The comms will be interesting. I think almost all of them are in a group call. I think we actually have Frankie being ran down in a zone. We also have Superior fighting down with Chorby here. Actually, a great E-shift there to avoid the bookmark there from Super. Dancing around the pole here. Is it going to be enough, though? It looks like an Alex ulti actually coming down from downtown, and the Don Quixote will be taking down Chorby, showing that ISIL is weak. Good looks. As we continue it here with Radient, showing that Hayes is possibly not weak. Okay, just kidding. Hayes is weak.
Yeah, Sylvia is so weak, guys, right? Just kidding. She's beating Hayes, who everyone says is 0.5. Yeah, okay, be for real, everybody. Be so for real with yourself. As it looks like our teams are grouping up, we will commentate a little bit and just not totally talk smack. But there we go. Aya killing Mai. I guess Mai really is weak after all, huh?
No, she's strong. Wait, why is Chris on Mai? Hello, you're not even right. He avoided the script. He's not representing his character. Hello?
Hold up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the reps were supposed to be playing their characters. Speaking of their characters, Mage Power on Alex is getting hate crimed a little bit, is going to try and blink out of there, but is going to go down to Chorby on the ISO. ISO on that 0.5. Looks like everyone grouping up. About to get these mutant spawns. Lucy, how are you feeling about the new season? We haven't casted so many things yet.
I know, yeah. You know, ERCS is just upon us. Just like how this fight is actually starting. Linko getting pretty low. Healing drone is going to be procced here to start the fight. But I think they're just going to back away here. Radine not able to get as much damage out of the sniper. Aya actually coming out here. Mario Kart DS not playing his character either. Actually going to pivot over to the Alonzo. Just going to take a look here, possibly come around as we are cooking. Here we go. The point is going to come out on Radine here. The rockets are going to come out a lot of damage on the backside. We see already half HP, but Jazz not able to get back there, but a good fear coming out from the Aya to kind of disperse the Mai out of here. A lot of damage being taken out, but no one actually pulling. Oh my god, actually the bullet going to go wide. Famous from Wisu here. And will that be enough to take anyone down? Radine going down again, showing that Hayes is actually not 0.5. She actually should be like 1.0, 2.0. And yeah, it's another kill going down.
You know what I realized? The players are sabotaging other people's picks by showing how strong they are. So like Mario Kart pulled out the Alonso. It's like, yeah, guys, come on. This character's so OP. And he's looking kind of good so far. You know, Kyra did talk about it with that kind of double carry lineup. You have that Bernice and the Eye. You kind of just run it down on one person. Looks to be the case. Superior definitely has a bit of trauma from that. So we'll have to see if Mario Kart can show again that Alonso is on top. They do get Alex ulted a little prematurely, a little bit of a bore hit as well. Not really leading too much, but they do get out of there and they will have the advantage in this coming fight. Tree spawning in about 30 seconds. Other objectives as well. Can we take a look at the map and just see what's around? 2 meteors should be dropping. Looks like they are Beach, everyone's favorite meteorite, and Uptown as well.
We love the Beach meteor. That's where the fuckfest does happen. Speaking of that, actually Gummy getting taken down pretty low here on the Ekin. Actually going to go down pretty fast here to this comp. A lot of damage coming out from that Rio. So will be our tree contest coming up here in about 5 seconds. Hoko repping the Kenneth, even though he talked about, you know, how not fun he is as of right now. So a little bit of a surprise they're seeing him on that, and not the Lennox, but they are missing a member here, unfortunately.
Yeah, it does look like on the other side, Chase is going to go down on that Mai. At least on being chased as well on the Tia. Is going to miss that bad skill, but it's okay. They are out of there as it looks like Team 2 over there. Bubble Boy is going to pick up that tree potentially. Day is trying to stop it. Griff is on the way now. They do stop it. They are going to continue to chase Bubble Boy out of the zone. Is going to blink forward with that R, but is going to miss it because Deus does dodge it with that W so masterfully. Bubble Boy goes down, and the tree will go to that team as well. As Gummy, again, looks like he is going to go down, just getting caught out, not able to meet up with their team. Superior, racking up the kills nice and early this game.
Yeah, getting some of those kills. Unfortunately, Gummy being caught out once again by the team of Super here. Going to be able to pick up the archery farm. So they're going to be eating pretty good so far. No one completely out quite yet. So they do have some time to catch up if they didn't get any of these first objectives. We'll have to see where the teams decide to go for the map. And yeah, like you were saying with the new changes before ERCS, I mean, we can kind of dabble on it a little bit. I mean, we have the new plants coming in, which have always been really fun. The weather changes will be a little bit interesting to see if, the teams decide to adapt to it and make any changes to their comp depending on the weather. I honestly do not think NA will use their brains that much and do anything that far. We are a region of one tricks, so we probably will stay with the same stuff that we always have.
Yep, I totally agree with that. I am definitely, feeling where the items are kind of laying into the season now that we've kind of got a good kick in it. I feel like the last tournament we casted where we were talking about items, it was still kind of unsure about where a lot of them were going to sit. But I think we're kind of falling into that ebb and flow of like where certain items are good or not. As it looks like there's a big fight happening over there on Team 5. They are taking a lot of damage. Looks like Ekion is down again. Homecoming on that Kenneth is trying to do work. But we are also getting some cool calls in hospital, so that's always nice too.
Yeah, no, nothing really happening here. Just for throwing some rockets, the usual. We're just gonna see if we can get the poke out before the fight begins. Another team is nearby as well. Super doesn't really carry. He is pushing forward. You're gonna use one of the plants here, and it looks like Delinko is gonna go forward. Is gonna get the taunt. Actually, Mage Power, a lot of damage coming out from the Subama, using the flash to get out. Alex ulti could come out though. Gonna rip a lot of damage. Actually, the bookmark from Sua doing a lot too. Delinko staying alive for a pretty long time on this Mai, showing that she can survive for a long time, but not long enough. As Radine gonna try to get the damage out too. Actually still being really aggressive here, even though both of his teammates are down. He's in the middle of everyone, and that will be Team 5 being the first team out right before the battle zone actually hits.
All right, you know what? Mai is weak. That Subama character is also weak. Move him down to tier. They're the first team out as the rest of the battle zone is going into full force. Looks like Dylan is getting crazy on that demo. Is in a 1v3 situation, trying to do as much as they can. Is going to be able to take down that tier. Is going to try and get down the rest, but an amazing parry to stop the eye ult as they continue to kite backwards and more people are showing up. Rimworth is on that sniper eye. It looks like is going to try and take them down, but Dylan finally goes down. Cheese as well, and a nice little pickup there from Mage Power, Rimworth, and I believe Superior as they are continuing to chase even more kills. Just a couple people left in the corners. Deus, last one to go. Nice little force core pickup for them, and that's a bloody battle zone.
Yeah, that was kind of insane. A lot of people in that upper half. I mean, like I was saying earlier, a lot of these players, I should say, are actually in a VC right below us, so we don't know if any colluding was happening there, but we do have a bullet finally hitting from Wisu, but unfortunately his team is actually getting roughed here, and they are dying. Wisu, you gotta run, buddy. But, as we talked about earlier, Sylvia does have that chase, and this is a chase that we're all scared of, as Wisu should be going down here in just a second. But it looks like Mario Kart DS is walking away. No one even batted denied him. He just kind of walked away. What happened?
Oh my god, the amount of burst that they took was crazy. They're just getting absolutely fried. Looks like Troby on that ISO does have judgment, so a nice little attack range buff from him. As it looks like they're going to try and get some calls in, get a little bit stronger, but they might find a little bit of enemies up there in Temple. Again, we do see Team 4 getting control of that console. They see them down there. Not sure if they're going to want to fight or not, but they are going to be in close proximity. As we are approaching that day 3 mark, the reses will start to cost money. Could we get a quick item check, Mr. Passant, see what's going on in the lobby? There we go. Looks like the items are online. A couple pieces here and there. No team really in first place. No team looking super strong. Everyone just a couple pieces here and about. It does look like Wisu is on that Blackfire cannon, which did get buffed to the 2 shots. Not sure if that's the new meta or not. It is still pretty fresh, but hey, we love to see that innovation.
Hey, why do we have 3 eyes in the lobby? Hello?
Aya's broken. She was actually, I don't even remember what she was on the tier.
I think she's like 1.0 or
hey,
something. I think she's like middle of the
boy,
pack.
hello. He just ulted the air.
It was
trying to make Aya
show.
look weak. Yeah. Trust.
Yeah. He's just giving us a show here. So here we are in the where are we? In the fire station, the home of Superior, as he's in the middle of 2 teams. Which team will come out on top? Super is gonna walk up to Dylan and take actually quite a bit of damage from Dylan here, repping that new Dema skin. Gonna try to get onto Rimworth as well, but they are just gonna have to walk away. Deus getting a little bit low on the sell up, but that is okay. Griff on the Rio trying to get some damage out while he can from a safe distance. Mage Power gonna try their best as well. We already have the Cicella ulti coming up for some poke. Rimworth actually pretty low already as well. No one really able to walk up here. Griff able to get a lot of free damage. Dylan just kind of playing it safe next to him, but Super does hit 1 Q on to Griff. That is the bookmark procced, and there's the second one. The stun is going to come out, but a great ulti from the demo to try to get them away, but doesn't matter. Griff will be going down. Third party is here. Oh my god, these guys have to run. Does Mage Power get out of this one on the Alex? It's going to look pretty close. Sua should be dropping. Oh, just kidding. That down Quixote with the auto actually just healing a lot. What the heck is going on?
Yeah, Deus and Dylan both leaving Superior. Looks like he is able to make it out again, as you mentioned. Not sure if a little collusion or not, but the other team is going to go down. Mage Power is going to take it down. But it does look like Maida is fighting Superior here. We're going to see if they do decide to take the jump. Superior trying to get away on that Sua, but here comes Nessius on that moped, as Sylvia loves to do. But no, Superior just a little bit too elusive, is going to be able to try and res their teammates up there. As we go down to Factory, a couple more things happening. Teams getting their farm on. Looks like actually over here, Mage Power and Rimworth are already back. They are all set, so they just need to meet up with Superior Superior. See if they can get back online and get grouped together.
Yeah, why did let Superior get away? Come on, guys. I know you guys are better than that. Why'd you just let him walk away? This is why he is taking our region and showing that Sua is not weak, even though he said she is. So, yeah, we got to work on that here as we move along into gas station where our Omega will be spawning. Only one team still down. So everyone else doing a great job at staying alive in this game. Unfortunately, Team 7, 0 kills so far. But hey, all you need is to win, and then that's how you get the money. Yeah.
Yeah. I do like money, and I'm sure everyone else does too. Omega spawning here in about 25 seconds in that gas station. Looks like Superior's team is opting not to contest it. Looks like Team 3 may just get it for free. It looks like all the teams are kind of just over there in that cemetery area. The left side beach totally untouched as well. A little bit of a scout out here from Griff is going to catch this team out on the jump pad. Not like they're going to take it though, as another fight is breaking down on the bottom side. The Dylan is getting in there already. Is going to throw it at that demo ult, but is taken down to about half HP. Is going to be able to parry that Aya ult one more time. He is so good at that as Dylan is wrecking havoc on the backside. Elisan not able to do enough. Looks like Aya is going to go down to the Sisala ult. Weesu is going to come in on the backside as 3P as well, but is going to miss that bola as all the teams are trying to get out of there now. Griff is going to get blinked on. The wolves or the dogs are going to help him in that escape, kind of blocking that corridor. That's on the other side. Cheese does finally go down, and we do have our second team out. That is Team 2. Unlucky.
Yeah, Dylan kind of going turbo here on this demo pick. Actually, before we go continue with that, we have another fight going on. It looks like our 11 is getting pretty low, but Shorby is pumping out the damage here. Great taunt to keep them away, but Hoko is going to push forward. And fortunately, Chorby will be going down. Nessie is going down maybe soon here. Actually doing a great job healing this one out, trying to get the damage out, but not enough. And now it's just our poor 11 left alone here, but they do see the 3P coming, so it looks like they were going to back away. Super going to try to pick up the remnants from this and grab the Bucks. Cairo also in the area, actually going to go and taunt Super here. I'm going to start this fight. Going to have to wait for Super to come up. Great job at dodging the bookmarks there from Super. Actually taking so much damage, he's going to have to back away. So will be Cairo's box to take this time. You got a little Professor versus Professor action going on in the stream here. And oh my god, sniper shots onto Jira. I'm doing a lot of damage here. And yeah, it looks like that is it for now. But yeah, that Dema character, I don't remember where she placed, but she's looking pretty strong in the hands of Dylan here.
Bro, this is why Pybob thinks his character is weak. This guy can't even W over a wall. Like, guys, are we getting gapped by this guy in NA? Like, be so for real. Like, come on, guys. Like, Pybob, you got to get your stuff together. As they are going down to the bottom side of Pond, trying to run away from this Kenneth character. Team 7 a bit split, but they are trying to get some vision. As that Kenneth is trying to stick the console. Homecoming is going to reverse wave. NA's favorite emo. Cairo is going to get the engage, though. The taunt is landing. Homecoming being taken down to 0 HP in a matter of seconds. As his team nowhere nearby, and they are going to have to spend that money. Frankie Doodle surely cursing him out in the call.
Why'd you do that? Ah! Or whatever it is that Frankie says. Unfortunately, gonna have to res our teammate here, but that is okay. They do have the credits, I am guessing, because Frankie's gunning right to the station here. Resing being a little bit easier now that you can use your partner's credits. So it's very nice, even though it was like bumped up to 250. I mean, I feel like it's pretty rare that you will not have enough to get someone unless you die like right at a call-in. Speaking of that, will Rimmerth get caught out here? Oh, he sees.
Yeah, Rimmerth on that sniper. Aya is going to get engaged on by Kairashu. Kairashu missing that E2, but is going to be quaking all over that enemy team. Piebald throwing the parry as well. But here comes the other team. It is now a 3P party. Rimmerth is going to use that Aya ult to try and disengage. Looks like all the teams are able to make it out. And no team really wanting to full commit as they know that it is such a scary situation. But Cairo is looking on the sides. He knows he's pincering this other team. They walked all the way around, but it does not look like they'll be able to find the engage. Instead, Gummy is going to take this console, and the three teams are actually going to be in the Wick zone as it did just get revealed. So not sure how these teams will continue to play it. As on the other side, I do believe we have a big fight happening as well. Teammate in Team 6. The HP bars are getting pretty low in Chap. It looks like Wisu still pretty healthy, but is going to try and get engaged on Torby. Is going to hit that mine on Weiss. Weiss is going to get slowed down right here. The blast cone, or the smoke is rather going to be popped. Is going to make a little bit of space for them, but Chorby just keeps hitting these Qs over and over, but is getting taken down by the IW. And everyone is just trying to run away. They're just trying to disengage, but this Sylvia is on the run. She does have that healing and keeping them healthy, but it looks like they are finally going to make enough space to get out.
Yeah, Effect doing a great job on the eye, being able to create the space for their team. Looks like another fight going down. Unfortunately, Longbow ulti will not hear here. Hoko getting a little bit low. We do see the healing drone popped from Gummy as well, but the fight will be dissuaded for now, as we do get a call in from GRM. A little bit of a ballsy move here, calling when there's another fight going on, but they do not care. GRM going to try to pump out the damage here while they can on this Rio, a character that could have been maybe tier 0. As you can see, she has so much like safety to be able to deal with these teams, and the short bow is going to be able to rip Gummy to shreds here. Unfortunately, is going to get hit by the knockup, so Frankie actually might be able to steal the kill here from GRM. They are going to go down. Unfortunately, the ulti from Cairo being a little too late, but it is a 2v2. Will the Camillo thrive here? And Pybob, do you want to win this? mean, if you win this, we might put you up a tier. It is a 1v2 now. Is the false oath going to be enough? You are running out of SP, so I think it might be you going down here, but there is another team in the area, and unfortunately, another team will be going down as the Wick spawns, and another team will be pulling up here.
Yeah, looks like they were able to win the fight, but they do lose the Ekion afterwards, not able to get that res. Homecoming trying to res on that console, but the console also has an item. They are trying to stick it, but Homecoming is going to get engaged on. Frankie's going to try and res on the top side as well. Not sure what's happening. It does look like Team 7, or no, Team 6 rather, is going to get that wick. Team 7 running up there for the res. They do have 50 seconds to get out of here, also in the red, but they do get the res. They should be okay. Looks like Gummy might go for that TP over in Temple, but no, decides to come back. They do have a bit of time, and Team 6 is giving them some space to breathe. As we are down to our 4 final teams, it looks like No Flame, both members are still in Superior and Frankie, but here we go. Mida is engaging on the 11. Rimmer is going to get caught out a little bit, but is going to use that disengage ult as the rest of the fight breaks down. Looks like Sua, ready to do all the work, is going to throw down all those books that she loves to do. Nessia's trying to keep their team healthy on the backside, and healthy they are indeed. Chorby still very healthy on the ISO, and here goes 11 engaging in again. Superior is going to try and dash in and take them down, and they do, but Superior is going to get counter-engaged on by Nessius. Nessius goes down. Mage Power also going down as well. Chorby is still so healthy on the backside and is just doing so much damage. Rumor trying to do what they can to save it, but is going to be so close to dying. Mage Power does go down. Rumor is the last one remaining. Chorby running forward. Do you have the CDs to catch? It looks like they do not, as Superior and Mage Power will go down. They will not get res, and they will be down to just their lone Aya.
Yeah, Gummy and Ko going to be coming into the area here as well. I think teammate did see that, so they're going to be a little bit careful here. But yeah, Chorby just pumping out the damage. Unfortunately, this team is not able to rip through the 11 fast enough, and that taunt being able to hold them in place for so long. The isolate being able to rip them to shreds here with the defense reduction as well on the passive. But we might have another fight going down here. Some poking going on from Gummy on this tankier version of Ekion. So he's going to be able to create some chaos here, but I don't think it'll be enough. He's going to have to be careful due to the ISOL doing a lot of damage here. And, the Sylvia being able to keep him a little bit healthy. Looks like they are going to separate, and we do still have a lone Aya in the lobby. A little unfortunate. I think that's Rimrinth running around all for his lonesome.
Yep, I believe it is. Can we get a quick item check real quick, Mr. Passant, see how these teams are looking? It does look like Gummy's team a little bit far behind with Frankie. They do have a blood item, but they're still missing a couple pieces. Looks like down there, Chorby and Nessius looking very strong. Might have missing a couple pieces as well. But I think this is anyone's game as we are breaking it down to these 3 final zones. Pond, Cemetery, and Chapel. Looks like Gummy's team is going to be sitting here. They are able to get these calls if they decide to. Not sure if the other teams are going to be able to get any more call-ins after this, but it should be a pretty close battle nonetheless. Again, as we are into these final 3 zones, 8 seconds left. Looks like Wisu is going to get that last little bit call. Mario Kart DS as well, just getting every little bit of strength as they can. But like we mentioned, Lucy, not sure if they really want to win this because we're going to talk smack about their character picking and their coping if they do win.
Yeah, if you guys win, you guys are going to hear a lot from us. I might be talking big because I probably won't do that. I am way too shy to ever do anything like that. But, who knows? Maybe today will be the day that all changes here. Frankie, you'll be taking the console, going to get that vision, going to see if you can find anyone in the area. But Rim is doing a great job staying in the corner of Chapel there. Just going to peepo chill for a little bit as the teams are starting to close into Cemetery here. So we will have to move in about 50 seconds. And I think it might be a bit before these teams enclose on each other. I mean, we do see Team 8 in the center, but they're probably going to keep it safe here because they do know a team is probably right above them or somewhere near the bridge.
Yes, it does look like, as you mentioned, the bridge, a point of contention, as Mida is pushing forward on that 11. Not sure if they want to fight this team, as they do still have that wick buff. They do finally get spotted out. They also recognize that the wick buff is there. They decide, hey, we lost a little bit of time, but we will go back, no problem. Probably going to make a little bit of a home for themselves down here at the Cemetery. I think Team 6 will be pretty content to kind of just hold the final zone and force these other teams to fight. And Rimrinth all by their lonesome, just hoping that they don't get found out. But want to see if they can maybe cause a little bit of havoc here in the final zone. As these 2 teams are slowly approaching each other, I do believe that Frankie's team does have vision, so they do see a little bit of stuff on those cams. They should see them over there on the right now on that cam, and they are going to look and see if they want to decide to fight or not. Rimrinth sneaking around the backside too, again, try to cause a little bit of a ruckus.
Yeah, I'd love to see if the ruckus starts here anytime soon. Everyone's just kind of clustering and doing their own thing. You guys need to hurry it up. I know you want to queue ranked and get ready for ERCS coming up this weekend. So can we get a move on here? Can someone please make a move and do something? Let's get this show on the road here. Team 8 going to be moving up on the bridge here towards Team 6. It looks like Team 7 might be having the free zone until Rimrinth comes up, and then he's going to show that I is OP, and he's going to one-shot everyone. But just kidding. Actually, Hoko going over on his own. He needs to go back. What are you doing, bro?
Homecoming?
He's still going.
Guys?
Actually, no, he's 1v.
Hello?
1v. Oh my
Frankie,
god, his team
hello?
is coming over. And now one more. Gummy gonna be coming into the fray as well. I think they heard the comms, guys. They are starting some shit here as Gummy is gonna go in, just barely getting taunted. Maybe not be able to catch Nessius here. There we go. Nessius does go down. Chorby actually taking the jump pad on the other side. Gonna be safe for a little bit. Nessius and his teammate can actually go over as well on the jump pad. Did they get over? I think they did, so they might be able to res safely as Hoko actually comes back to the other side as well. Gonna have to fight the 1v1 against Rimrinth, but I don't think Rimrinth has the damage. Oh, just kidding. There are other people here.
Guys, we're cooked as a region. Sorry, it's doomed. Yeah, a little bit of teaming, a little bit of craziness as Wisu is finally going to go down. But on the bright side, again, he can't say that Bernice is OP because he, in fact, did not win the game. As we are down to our two final teams. Actually, hold up. Sylvia's OP. Frankie, hello. There's two Sylvias. Hello.
Hello. I think that character should have been moved up. What is going on here? Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. Also, this Kenneth character, I know Homecoming said he hadn't been playing it much, but looking kind of OP. Definitely nothing to do with that teaming. He's definitely OP, but we do have these final 25 seconds to left. And twiddle our thumbs. I'm really excited about these new final zone changes. Lucy, how about you?
Yeah, I'm guessing, have you seen like the clip for Fadiu? Where like they all like funnel into Sem and then they just like get res in the middle of their fight. It's actually kind of wild.
I actually don't know if I've seen that clip yet. Is it on Twitter?
Yeah, it's on Twitter. I'll have to send it to you. It's kind of wild. Yeah, the news final zones are going to be a little bit silly here, but before we get into that, we will be having a final fight here. It looks like it will be in Pond. So this team, we're just going to posture and, slowly move up. Oh god, the bear is on the trap. No, the bear plan!
Oh my god. As an ISO player, my heart hurts so much right there. When your teammates pull animals over your mines and you just want to cry, like, yep, there goes my cooldown. But he did have 2 mines on the ready. And it looks like they are going to be chilling for a little bit. Looks like Homecoming wants to take this jump pad over. Frankie and Gummy are going to cause a little bit of a ruckus over here. Nope, just kidding. Homecoming decided to come with his team. Frankie trying to get a little bit of poke out. This is a really hard team to get into. Again, the ISO with the traps. They do have the double guillotines. They do have to get in there. But Homecoming is going to hit the blink ER on Chorby. Chorby is going to dodge a little bit, but it's continuing to get dove. Ekion just doing so much damage with Homecoming as they do take them down. Frankie on the other side is going to get taken down low as well, but Nessius is going to get caught up as well by everyone. Not sure what is going to finally happen, but Nessius does get down. Frankie doing so much damage on the Sylvia, and it is poor Mida left all by the lonesome. ISO deserves to go down on the tier list. This character is not 0.5. Look at how weak he is, guys. Hello?
He is so weak. He just got dove on, and there's nothing he could do, and I think we could all now say that, Sylvia should have been the one that actually been moved up. Both of them in the final zone. Unfortunately, one Sylvia will be the winner. Congratulations, Hoko, Frankie, and I believe it's Gummy. Yeah, Gummy here are going to be our winners of the show match. I hope you guys are proud. You guys showed your characters well. You guys all played the characters you represented as well. Good job.
Are they the OP characters or are they the OP teamers? I guess we'll never know. We don't hear that VT. Also, Lucy, I don't know if you're reading it, but chat wants you to say a specific thing.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I mean, it was like Radine said that, like, it's like telling a kitten to kill or something like that. Yeah, it's asking a kitten to murder. Like, I can't do that.
Oh, I don't know. Lucy. I feel like you just say it, Lucy. It's unofficial. Just say it.
No, I'm good. I think I'm chilling here. As, the game did go well. So yeah, again, congratulations to these guys. I hope you guys had a lot of fun here on the roundtable, and I hope you guys had a lot of fun with your final game here before queuing ranked.
Oh, are we queuing ranked?
Okay. Wait, I'm muted on Discord. No, I'm good. Okay, all good. Yo, thank you so much for casting. I'm back. I have still not drank water because whatever. Anyways. I'm here though, and that was our show match. Once again, thank you everyone who joined us, both for the show match, for those who joined from outside the table, and gave us a pretty good balanced lobby that honestly had so much action. I'm not sure if it was because everybody was on BC, and they were just teaming all around, but as you know, as the wise words of, who was it, Windy? Keep it in customs. Okay, so
yeah.
But outside of that, I will be sending the prize to the winners. Make sure you DM me on Discord specifically. Your PayPal. I think I have Frankie's already, so he doesn't have to. But for Hoko and Gummy, they can go ahead and do that, and I appreciate it. Talking about prize pools, I wanted to do a few last announcements to end the table for tonight. We did go pretty long, which is as per usual. Honestly, I don't think we've ever kept time. But still, I wanted to give a few announcements, which are the following. First, we talked about community tournaments and hosting them, and how ERCS is now bi-weekly, and we should have more of that stuff. As you guys know me, I already run like a few things like trivia shows on monthly with different creators, as well as a few other events like this one, Roundtable, which I plan to host seasonal again if the support is there, which so far it looks like you guys have been doing pretty great. As per usual, leave me any feedback that you guys might want. I know there's a lot of things concerning the format of the Roundtable where it's like, oh, we want every character rep, right? So we include all 74 people in one call, which might not be the best idea, guys. Let me just tell you that. Just 20 of them already drive me crazy. Gala didn't even make it into the custom. And that's my teammate, guys. But fuck. Anyways. But with that being said, I am always listening to the feedback, and I will try my best to always alter the format in a way that I think will be the most enjoyable to get. I do think there are certain things that are better consumed in other media, so I will continue to push things towards YouTube concerning guides and educational content, whereas Roundtable will continue to be a place for those who climb rank, such as Mario Kart, who's not even an ERCS player, he just plays rank. I want those people that are playing rank to feel noticed that their climb is for them. But with that being said, I do like to include all sorts of people on the different events and cover all, like, the whole spectrum of ER players. So with that being said, I would like to announce eRob 2, which you guys probably don't remember because it's an early access tournament, but eRob, the Eternal Return Open Brawl.
I love E-Rob. I remember E-Rob.
The Eternal Return Open Brawl was the tournament that I hosted. The whole purpose of the tournament is to include the lower elo players into the competitive scene, and for that reason, it is an open sign-up tournament that is not rank-based. Every single player that signs up with a team will be accepted and will get to play on a tournament. It will be a total of 3-day tournament, or no, it's a 2-day tournament with 1 day having qualifiers, groups, and then finally finals on another day. So, and when it comes to prize, which is what I wanted to touch, I am poor. I'm working now, but I'm poor because, like, I'm a barista. I don't make money, man. Like, it is what it is.
Oh yeah, you don't make anything.
But with that being said, if you guys have been paying attention in chat, I did take a sponsorship actually, like, not too long ago, and it was with the purpose of doing a bit of a social experiment, and that is going to be, if any of you guys don't have Honkai Star Rail on the phone and would like to add money to the prize pool of eRob, all you gotta do is go and install it on your phone. So if you do $HSR, download it on the phone, and every single money, like every single dollar that I make on that sponsorship, which is up to 1,000 something, will go towards this, towards the what's it called, towards the tournament. So I know a lot of you guys already play the game, but you guys have a phone, and if you don't have it on your phone already, you could do that for me, and that way contribute towards the tournament, and we can make a really cool thing. On top of that, I am thinking about the whole buy-in tournaments. We were collecting feedback today, and I'm sure me and other TOs have heard you on that feedback, which overall looks to be positive. So I'll be looking to do that in the future, but I'm going to be doing the eRob first. So, once again, you can contribute that way. You can also just directly donate towards the eRob prize pool if you like to do that instead. I'll be posting more details about the tournament, including the date and like registration and stuff like that very soon. I am very tired, so I'm not doing it right now, but soon. Anyways, so I will. That's what we're doing. Contribute, be nice, and be good. Outside of that, thank you so much for the casters today, which I cannot wait to hear them casting over my gameplay for ERCS, because I'm playing. Yeah, unfortunately with Galazor, but playing nonetheless. Outside of that, thank you so much for watching. Once again, give me any feedback you guys want, both from my participants and the audience. I want to hear both of you guys, and just let me any of you like fun things, fun ideas. I'm always looking to do new events and new things, so you know, keep it up. And outside of that, I think that is gonna be it. If you, Uzma or Lucy, have anything you guys want to promote, whether it's your own stream, since you guys unfortunately don't get player cards, would have been a wonderful staff for me today. You guys can go ahead and shout out anything you guys want. You guys were so good.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for, always hosting it. Thank you for letting us help you when we can. It's really nice that the community likes to come together and do these things. And again, yeah, with the feedback on the buy-in tourneys, I'm going to try to take that as seriously as possible. I think that is a good thing to help raise player morale as well. So yeah, definitely look into those. If you haven't, joined the Scrim server as well, because that's usually where a lot of these things are announced. And yeah, I will say fuck since everyone is asking for it, so I did say it during the fucking stupid cast. So yeah, please fucking watch ERCS. It's always really fun, and I love seeing you guys all in the chat, and thank you for always supporting us. And yeah, make sure you queue ranked as per usual, and to keep our queues flowing. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your season as well. Uzma, do you have anything?
I'd say from my side, with kind of what Lucy said, keeping that in mind, and also with a lot of events and stuff happening, I just want to remind everyone to be kind to everyone, especially these TOs, these event organizers, anyone who is helping out our scene, guys. They do thankless work. They really get a lot more flack than they should. I know people are passionate and they get upset about how things are run, or like, oh, like my tournament end run it here or there. But again, guys, remember, we are just people. We don't work for a company. People running these tournaments are usually just like a couple people. Even Pasan and Lucy, they're like two-handedly single, like running this event. Like, just be thankful, guys. Be sure to show your appreciation and just support them if you love Eternal Return. And hopefully we get to see more of it. And maybe who knows, more people, more tournaments. And I think that all comes from a place of gratitude first. So just be good, guys.
I would like to mention, to clarify, it's a 3-man show. Actually, 4-man show. We got Najib on tab moderation, and we got it early for the tier list. So watch them out. Let's thank our staff. Everyone, let's make sure the staff is thanked. I will be giving them stuff for once. It is not fully volunteered today. I think I promised like a Star Red Bull, so hashtag ad again, I guess. But anyways, thank you so much everyone for hosting. Thank you for everyone for being here with me today, and I will probably see you guys on another event, because honestly I do more events now than actual streams, so like it's cooked. But yeah, I am so exhausted, and I'm just gonna find someone to raid and toss all this responsibility to.
Passant, you did great, and we're all thankful for having.
Thank you,
any events.
Passant.
Thank you, Passant. Everyone in chat, type thank you, Passant.
Who are these people? Who is streaming that I know? Hello.
You hear that? Everyone's streaming right now. Passant just Omega load you. All right, take back the thank yous.
Bro, yeah, Rin is wholesome nowadays, right? Surely that's like a transition. He
I heard that he's doing a dodge list.
Oh, that's perfect.
Wait,
From
is that what he's doing right now?
list,
There's no way.
Roundtable
to dodge list.
Roundtable to dodge list. Nice. Hey,
That's the NA classic.
Rin gave us content back in the day on Roundtables. He was one of the best, core members of these tables. So I think it's appropriate. But yeah, let's go over to watch Rin. He's been climbing quite a lot actually recently on multiple characters. So props to him. Good player. Yeah, let's get to him now. See you guys next time. I'll be posting information about future events soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.